All right, we're back again. It's been about a good 1.5, maybe 2 months before I started actually giving you guys a recording. Shout out to Mr. Solomon. He's on the line with us. Let me know if you can hear me well.
Yep.
All right. Now, there's some bombshell information that's been going on. I told you I'm going to be taking a very surprising stance on tonight's podcast. Okay? Now, there's been this talk. Now, we're going to talk about this indictment. We're going to talk about this from an objective point of view. Okay? Now, the media, some of these little janky little media outlets have been saying that there's a book that basically said, and we're talking about the Sean Puffy Combs indictment, that there's a book that was basically exposing things that Combs did, right? Now, you had sent me something that they said that there possibly was something and this, that, and the third. I think you might have sent me something. A couple other people slid this across my desk throughout the day. Hey, DP, what's your take on this? And you know what? I did a little bit more digging. Come to find out, now this was something on an article that came out. Now, I really don't mess with the baller alert like that. But a close friend of Kim Porter by the name of Ebony Electra clarifies there was no tell-all book in the works before her passing. Now, she put this on Instagram some time ago. She said, I'm going to say this as loud as I can. Kim Porter never drafted nor wrote a book, memoir, or manuscript. She said it's getting out of hand. She said, Kim, this isn't something that Kim would do. So I think some of these media outlets need to get checked. Yeah. Because if that's true, that's disrespectful. And I'm going to say another thing, and I'm probably going to lose a lot of supporters tonight by what I say. If Harvey Weinstein can get a $5 million bail and an ankle monitor, well, damn it, Sean Puffy Combs should be riding a Rolls Royce today. That nigga should be smoking a fat ass blunt with even more strippers and more sex parties if we're gonna play that route. If we gonna do selective justice, then yeah, just let the nigga stay in jail. But if you gonna let all the white sex predators go and basically say now, Weinstein, to keep in mind, let's keep it in context, Weinstein is in jail. Now, he's getting a new trial because they said they violated his constitutional rights. Now, there's something else that you sent me, which I believe is another reason outside of the stuff that they're accusing him of. This is what I think the real reason is. This right here. This is the reason why I think he's in jail.
We're going to have to see some promises. You know, what are we?
Hold on.
Getting in return for our vote? Nothing has changed for Black America. And in order for us
Let's start it from the top.
To vote for Biden, we can't be taken for.
Let's start it from the top.
We're going to have to see some promises. You know, what are we getting in return for our vote? Nothing has changed for Black America. And in order for us to vote for Biden, we can't be taken for granted like we always are because we're supposed to be Democrats or because people are afraid of Trump. It's whoever's going to take care of our community, whoever wants to make a deal. It's business at this point. You know, we can't trust politicians.
Real talk.
You know, so we want to know very clearly, just like Trump made it clear that he wanted to build the wall, Biden needs to make it clear that he's going to change the lives and quality of life of black and brown people, or else he can't get the vote. I will hold the vote hostage if I have to.
You said it here, said it first.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news. That was Naomi Campbell. Now, keep in mind, I'm not sure where she's from. I don't think she's a foundational freedman. That's a new thing we coming up with. Foundational freedman. Some people have an issue with foundational black Americans, so we say freedman now. Foundational freedman. They can't remix that. The Freedmen's Bureau. Black Americans that freed themselves off the American Southern plantation and the New York plantation, by the way. This was something you brought to my attention that I didn't pay attention to. This was maybe a few years ago. He said on Facebook, the black vote will not be free this year. And if you look into the comments, look at all these sassy, sambo, scared, terrified, petrified, bootlicking, burly Negroes talking about, no, Diddy, I ain't feeling that. Maybe 45 can be an asset to you and your businesses, but for the average working class, living on a chance of the prayer, we can't take a chance with 45. Now, keep in mind, this was 4 years ago. This was 4 years ago. Now, these same folks probably sitting up there talking about the bologna sandwiches cost more. Here goes somebody else. Diddy, I definitely want you to clarify. Humanity is at stake, and you want to hold the vote hostage because he's joking? Another person, Diddy, bye. This is not the time for antics. We need to replace this administration before we end up with 4 more years of crazy. And what did we get, Solomon? We got 4 more years of crazy. We got high gas prices. We got the pandemic, which actually, you still there?
Yeah.
Which actually, Trump, do you remember during the pandemic when they were saying Trump was xenophobic? Because he said, hey, man, this damn China coronavirus, they wouldn't even let him say that. He wanted to shut down the airport, he wanted to shut everything down coming from over there. And what happened? You know what happened. You know what happened in Minnesota and all across the nation. They wouldn't let him. It was the Democrats that didn't want to shut down planes to China and all that stuff. And remember before, and I got flagged on my podcast. You remember that? I got flagged by YouTube. You're spreading misinformation. You can't say it's a Chinese coronavirus. You can't say there was a lab leak. Come to find out 4 damn years later, a lab leak. The Department of Health confirmed it. And a lot of family members was up there. Oh man, you all talking about that pro-black and the black stuff, and you're spreading misinformation. And come to find out, the very folks that y'all kissed their ass, the Department of Health, admitted it. It was leaked from the Wuhan lab in China.
It wasn't leaked. It was done on purpose.
Well, it was done on purpose. So, a leak is allegedly that, they use that. They didn't want to just come out and say that, hey, yeah. So my point is this was 4 years ago. This is 2024. 2020, I believe, was that May? When did Mr. Floyd, when was he lynched? Was that in May?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 4 years ago. This is 4 years ago. Diddy, you don't understand that the popular vote, which is our vote, does not elect the president. So now if you hold the vote hostage, Trump wins again. So what? Hold the vote hostage? That hurts Biden or us. Look at all these scary ass Negroes. This is 4 years ago. I just read 4 or 5 comments. Now that is one piece that I believe it is. Okay? We'll wait to play this here. That's one piece that I believe it is. Now, let's look at this. Now, they say he had sex workers. Hugh Hefner, all of those white folks. Now, we know it's not going to be an even playing field with niggas. But all them white folks, Hugh Hefner, they did the same thing. And now that we know that this book is some BS, we can't use that as evidence. Let's look at the charges. Now, what is he accused of? Now, these freak-offs at the center of the sex trafficking, they keep talking about these freak-offs that half the damn Hollywood's been to. So let's look at the 14-page indictment. I'm going to break it down, because folks need to understand how to read. Okay? United States District Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America versus Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, P.D. Love, defendant. Now, this is the overview of the grand jury charges. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy, RICO. They're quick to put a RICO on a black person. Okay, so let's look at this. Sealed indictment, 24 CRIM 542. I got the Google Docs right here. This was filed September 12th. Keep in mind, y'all, he wanted to turn himself in. Now, people say, well, why didn't he get no bail? You know why he didn't get any bail? Because if you turn yourself in, you're eligible for bail. If you turn yourself in, you could be eligible for bail. They did not want him eligible for bail. They didn't care about the 50 million. No, we gotta, cause see, if I keep you locked up, you can't fight the case inside. It's hard. They got him. A lot hard. Well, they got you in the Brooklyn Detention Center. They got you in a place where niggas getting stabbed, the toilets don't work, the lights don't work, whatever's going on. That's a known dangerous jail. That wasn't done by accident. Huh?
No, they knew what they were doing putting them in there.
Yeah, they could have put him somewhere else. You're a celebrity. Exactly what he's doing. But he was hanging out. He was hanging out with G. Depp and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing. If we're going to talk about democracy, if you're waiting to judge, if you're waiting to be judged by a jury of your peers, then we have to say the man's innocent off the rip, right?
Yeah. Innocent to proven guilty.
Yeah. If we're gonna play that now, if we're gonna do selective justice, let's just go. Let's do the selective justice role. Let's say, okay, nigga, you guilty. All right. Well, with that, you got to look at these charges now. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy. For decades, this is number 1. And I want people to pay attention to some of this language here. It said, for decades, Sean Combs, the defendant, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The same thing that most politicians do, by the way. Now, here's the point of this. This is a RICO. So they're saying that you used employees, resources. What was his resources? His assets, his money, his reputation, his influence, and multifaceted business empire. They're saying that he has an enterprise. Number 2, the defendant operated his business headquartered at various times in Manhattan and LA under a variety of U.S.-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy, Combs Enterprise, and Combs Global. Corporate entities in the Combs business included, among others, record labels. And this is going to prove the point in terms of this is going to lead credibility to my suspicion of that liquor lawsuit. Record labels. They don't care about blacks getting record labels. A recording studio, they don't care about that. An apparel line, they don't care about that. An alcoholic spirits business. That was the problem. When black folks start getting into that, and you starting to cut up into their funds, that's a major issue. Marketing agency, television network, and media. That's another thing. If Revolt would have started getting big, like NBC, that's problematic too. That's number 2. So basically they're saying, hey nigga, you got an enterprise. You got all these businesses and all these employees. You're flying these women here. You're flying these women there. You're telling them, hey, you better suck on my balls and gargle my scrotum. If you better do this or that. If you don't do this, I'm going to throw you off the plane. See, that's what they're making it sound like it's tyranny. They said at all times relevant to his indictment, he engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women and other individuals. Women and other individuals. What the hell does that mean? Women and men?
Yeah.
Why did they just say men? They said other individuals. Women and other. What is other individuals?
He hung out with transgenders. He hung out with binary.
So why don't they say that?
Because, I mean, it's hard to just throw all that in if they just say other.
Yeah, there's no reason to say other. This is a federal indictment. We're supposed to be very detailed. I find that very interesting. This abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical contact. So now we'll go down to number 4. So they say he assaulted women, kicking them, you know, all this. Then they said, oh, witnesses from the 2016. They must be talking about Cassie. So when he kicked Cassie's ass, he said he threw a vase at a woman. Okay, number 5. That's not this number 4 right here, physical abuse. That's not worthy of a damn RICO. You kick somebody's ass, you're supposed to get a 2nd degree assault. Okay, number 5. He used his business to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse in commercial sex. Those employees, security staff, household staff, high-ranking supervisors under Combs intermediaries under the Combs business. The Combs Enterprise. This is the big one. Number 6. From 2008, the defendant and others known or unknown were members and associates of a criminal enterprise. That's the RICO. Forced labor, trafficking, transportation of prostitution, coercion and enticement, narcotics offenses. So even if he wasn't selling it, they're saying, okay, this is an enterprise. You were using it. The purposes of the Combs Enterprise: operating a global business in the media, entertainment, lifestyle, apparel line, alcoholic spirits, television, media, preserving. Now this is the number 1 key right here. Under 11B, still reading the indictment. I skipped down a bit. Purposes of the Combs Enterprise: preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power, reputation, of brand of Sean Combs. That's it right there. That's the RICO. Because they're saying you're using this to further your enterprise. You have a lot of power and influence. Now see, this is where P. Diddy messed up. When he told them to hold his vote, he was right to do that. Diddy should have been doing that 8 years ago. When he got with Obama's punk ass, he shouldn't have said vote or die. He should have said reparation or die. And as I told you before, when black Americans get behind something, all you need is a black America behind you and anything will win. When South Africa apartheid came down, that was due to Rosa Parks, Jesse Jackson. You had black folks that said they were never going to perform in certain places. We're not going to buy no Coca-Cola. We will shut the world down if y'all don't stop apartheid in South Africa. There was really no financial benefit for us. We just said, okay, we see you race soldiers doing our brothers dirty over there. Y'all gonna stop this shit. And it shut down immediately. It didn't take years and years and years and years. Soon as we got on the ball, that got shut down quick. He wasn't really looking at that. He was looking at black folks in a way, I think, from an arrogant standpoint, the first 20 years of his career, I'm thinking. Because you should have been able to wield that power. You seen what Kyrie did. You should have been able to say, wait a minute, I've been in the grassroots since day one. I've been putting money in niggas' pockets. I ain't been ripping nobody off. Y'all, I done smacked a couple bitches up and sold some hoes. Y'all hold me down. We would have been like, all right, we got you. We got you. Don't do it again, but we got you. We got you because, nigga, you kept it real. Like, I always told you about Marion Barry. Yeah, he smoked a little crack, but let me tell you about Marion Barry. You can look this documented. You can look this up. Marion Barry made sure the black folks had over 30% of the construction contracts in Washington, D.C. He wasn't like this old groundhog face nigga in Chicago where he's bringing in illegals left and right. He wasn't like him. Marion Barry made sure black folks had all the contracts in Washington, D.C. He made sure of it. And that's why they voted him in twice. They voted him in twice because of stuff like that, because he was a real nigga.
Yeah, he had 98% of the vote.
98% of the vote. He was a real nigga. He stood down tall for black folks in Washington, D.C.
Well, Diddy, the thing with Diddy is if you take out that little statement right there, he really hasn't stood up for anybody.
Well, he has
to be taken off guard by that, you know?
Yeah, he has a history. The thing is, he has a history of some of his artists and people to say, but see, that's where arrogance comes in. You know, that's where arrogance comes in. You number one, you're not supposed to be in this situation. And even if we felt you were 100% railroaded and you didn't do none of this stuff and we had your back, I'm telling you, if Black America would have... See, this country can't do shit without Black Americans. It's built off of it. You need our style. You need everything. We just don't control it. But you still need us. If we would have said, no, you're not throwing this nigga under the bus. A lot of black folks are silent because they're like, okay, you got some folks that's like, well, some of the celebrities, they done been to them parties, so they don't want no smoke. But just the average black person on the street, they're like, well, damn, bro, like, if I would have had not even a quarter of what you had, you couldn't put me in this situation unless you railroaded me. You see what I'm saying? It's the same situation how people look at Suge. Yeah, Suge, you probably looked out for a lot of niggas, but dude, you supposed to be out of jail. You supposed to be living as an old man, still holding down death row, signing these little corny ass white dudes and taking them for their check, signing these little Danity Kane type of broads. You supposed to be out here with us, building enterprise. Death row is supposed to be a real estate business right now. Suge ain't supposed to be in jail.
So in 96, if you would have said in 96, the Suge Knight and Puff Daddy are gonna both die in prison,
I would have never fucking believed it. I never thought about that. I'm glad you brought that up. I would have never thought about that. Never. I would have never thought that these dudes would have been going to, you might have been, I think you would have had a situation where you'd be like, okay, they gonna railroad these niggas. Like Cosby. Cosby got into some stuff, but we know having them bitches lied. That's documented. Cosby got in trouble because he tried to buy in CNBC. And, you know, Cosby had some choice words on black folks that I think should have been under closed doors. What he said wasn't incorrect, but he kind of did the Obama thing and started chastising black folks, which he should have. But the way he went around doing it, he kind of, you know, but even with Cosby, I'll say this, Cosby did look out for a lot of niggas. He paid a lot of HBCUs. People can't say Cosby didn't look out. Cosby looked out like a motherfucker. What Cosby did is he went into a media apparatus. He tried to probably do it alone. And the race soldiers were like, nah, nigga, yeah, we know you got the money, but you ain't about to buy NBC. He was like, man, I'm going to buy it. Oh, really? All right, let me find these old white women that you were smoking, using drugs with. And that's all they did. They just found some old scallywags. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of these women, they've even found the facts that they've even tried to set the thing up or whatever. So they did kind of like what they did with Trump. They just came up with a retroactive law, or came up with a law like that whole New York thing with what they got him for. It was a witch hunt. It was like, let's just create some new laws because we want to stick it to them. But see, that's where Trump got messed up, because he had an opportunity 7 years ago to redeem himself with the Central Park 5. So what happened to the Central Park 5 just happened to Trump. It was just trumped up charges. It was some bullshit charges that they just made him stick. And 7 years ago, Trump should have said, you know what? Yeah, that was a race soldier move. I put some articles out that probably weren't the best. Now, in reality, one thing that people haven't been coming out, and this has been coming out a little bit more, but people haven't really been putting the fuel to the fire. And I blame the Democrats for that. Everybody that convicted those boys were Democrats. Yeah. That was you know, the Bloomberg and that those are all, it was 198% Democrat, not one Republican in the indictment of the Central Park 5. In the propaganda of the Central Park 5, all Democrats, all of them. So when they got them niggas on stage sitting up there with Harris or Biden or whatever, when the last Democrat convention, you know, I think a lot of niggas just want to ignore that shit. But all them Congressional Black Caucus niggas look like a bunch of tap dancing, pickaninny coons sitting up there acting like the Democrats in New York didn't have nothing to do with that. New York was 110% 10 toes down, making sure that Central Park 5 went to jail for that. They knew them boys were innocent. The prosecutor, she's supposed to be in jail for it. She wrote a book about it. She's still standing on it. She still won't admit that they're innocent. You've already had somebody come out and admit that they did it. That's how they got off in the first place. So Donald would have been on the right side of history if he would have said, look, I made a mistake. It wouldn't have really hurt his base because, you know, his little redneck base now, if he would have got heavy on reparations or something, yeah, that would have hurt his base. But if he would have said, look, I didn't have all the facts. He could have said that because, you know, most of the time he just be bullshitting anyway. He could have just said, yeah, I didn't have all the facts. I made a mistake. You know, everyone makes mistakes. If he would have said it like that, you know, I'd be waving his hands around. I made a mistake. You know, everyone makes mistakes. You're going to blame me for my mistake? I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do? I can give you guys a job. You want a job? You want some money? See, that's what I would have said if I was Trump. And see, then the Democrats couldn't have used that. I'm just talking about chess, bro. I'm talking about chess. Because, like I say, I'm voting couch. So, you know, no party's getting my vote unless I'm, you know, they got 3 months to make me decide. I'm voting couch. But that would have been good for Trump for right now. Now, getting back to this Diddy thing. Looking at the other piece of the indictments, they're talking about the freak-offs. They distributed drugs to the victims. Okay, to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Now, if there's no kids involved, here's where my I don't give a damn energy comes on the bag land. I'm gonna lose some people. I'm probably gonna lose some of my subscribers. I don't give a fuck about adults, bro. You know how this nigga is. Y'all know how this nigga is. Y'all didn't give a fuck. Y'all went in there. You wanted to smoke dope. Somebody wanted to sell some ass. Fuck sex. They said sex acts with male commercial sex workers. Male sex workers? The federal indictment just said that, bro. Sex acts for male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to us, among other things, freak-offs. So so now you admit right here that this nigga's LGBT. So I'm gonna go even far, and I'm probably gonna lose some more people, but this gotta be said. Bro. If you know that this nigga LGBT, he don't stand on no morals, right? You got him with male and female sex workers, so it's just a frenzy. It's just a freak frenzy. So you know that this nigga's not standing on no type of morals. Y'all ain't standing on no morals because you're in this place with him. You know it's get down. Why should Bagland DP feel sorry for you? Why? If you had some morals about yourself, you'd be at home with kids and a husband. Oh, shit. I'm going to get some unsubscribers for that. If you had some morals, you'd be at home with kids and a husband. You wouldn't have got flown out. You wouldn't have been sitting up in here with some nigga that's probably using 1,000 bottles of baby oil, smacking male sex worker butts. You wouldn't even be in this situation. So why should I feel sorry for you?
The thing is, DP, is the charges aren't coming from the sex workers.
They're coming from the feds.
Yeah, the feds, all these charges pertain to his treatment of Cassie. So what the feds are saying is, we know that you called sex workers and flew them out.
What's wrong with that?
That's against the law. The sex workers aren't saying, they're not even saying that they were sent out there. It's the feds know that he was sending women and men on jets to come out and do freaky situations.
Why is that illegal? Hugh Hefner been doing it forever. Vince McMahon been doing it forever.
It's called human trafficking. If a pimp takes a hoe out of state lines, that's called human trafficking.
You can't sell ass in Las Vegas?
You can bust the ass in Las Vegas, that's one thing. But if you take somebody from Las Vegas and you take them next door to Utah, and you get caught there, that's crossing state lines. That's human trafficking.
Jeez, man. They need to change some of them laws.
No,
Oh, they need to change some of them laws.
It's just motherfuckers like Diddy, that whoever the next Diddy is, now because Diddy's what he's done. Whoever the next Diddy is it Tyler Perry or the young kid from Chicago, whatever his Lil Dirt, whatever his name is, whatever these little moguls that are coming up now, stop thinking you're invincible. Okay? Stop. And Diddy had a real, one thing Gene Deal said, he don't say much that I really pay too much mind to. But one thing he said when Diddy moved to L.A. and started fucking with them white folks.
Uh-oh.
He said that's when cocaine became a big thing. And
well, you asked me about drugs before. You said, do you think he was? I said, yeah. Listen, L.A. and Hollywood and drugs go hand in hand. Remember when Neely Fuller taught us about California? That's an experimental state. That's why when I told you, if you have any power on the reparations thing, what state is it going to start in?
Yeah, L.A.
California. It's going to start in California because California is a very experimental state. They got a lot of weird stuff going on. You know, there's and then when it comes to changes and when you think of revolution, when I think of revolution, I think of California. I think of Watts and Florence and Normandy, and when I think of turn up and pull up summer, I think of California. You know, the Panthers, and you know, they're saying right here, the freak off supplies. They stocked the hotel rooms with freak off supplies, controlled substances, baby oil, extra linens, lighting. Like why did he just create a porn company, man?
The drugs. And the thing is he's fucking with drugs that I never even heard of. Pink cocaine, and you fucking with some shit. And that, at the end of the day, all that behavior, it leads back to the drugs. But people have to understand something. There's not 50 million women making claims against him. There's only one. On that affidavit, there's one victim.
That's why they need the hotline.
There's one like if we got some more people, come on, which is definitely going to be. They already know that.
That's how you know you ain't got enough evidence. You want more.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's one person. So there's one witness, there's one victim, and 49 witnesses.
49 witnesses.
Yeah, and the feds he didn't learn from R. Kelly, and he recorded everything he was doing. So when they broke up in his crib, in one of them Florida or Miami houses, they got all them footage. They got 500 hours worth of footage.
Now the tapes, wouldn't it be smart for his lawyer to say, "Hey man, these are like NDAs. These tapes are showing that hey, I didn't force them to do this."
Well, the tapes show that it happened. You feel what I'm saying? So he can't say, "What are you talking about?"
But can he say it was not forced?
Did he fly women in and men in from other states?
Oh, that's a given. That's a given. He flew in.
Yeah, okay then. That's true human trafficking right there and there. That's it. That's
so
15 years.
What's an agency then? What's some things called? They're not agencies. What's some things called? It's prostitution, but it's real slick.
Escort service?
Yeah. Escort.
And he called one of them, that's in state. First of all, that's not human trafficking because it's in state. If you're in Houston and you're kicking it with Cassie and you call 50 Cent's baby mama in Florida and you say, I'm gonna send a private jet for you to come out here and freak off with me and Cassie, human trafficking. It doesn't have to be, she can be a willing participant. And Cassie's saying that he forced me to do these things with the idea of you're going to enhance my career. Mind you, there's only one woman that's making a claim against him. What they're saying with the videotapes and the freaks off is we have proof that you're doing it on top of what Cassie told us. They don't need 50 million bitches. To get somebody on a human trafficking charge, you need one bitch. That's it. If you got a girl right now and you meet her down on Nicollet and you see the bitches busting the ass and you say, I'm going to take you to Milwaukee and we're going to make some money. Boom, human trafficking. That's it. That's it. There's nothing, no other question. That's human trafficking right there.
I got to play some legendary sugar-free instrumentals on this. I got to play some.
Hey, speaking of sugar-free, I know the dude. Why did sugar-free get away from pimping?
You know, I think it was Vlad or somebody that was asking him, "Hey man, something about pimping?" He said, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about."
No, the term human trafficking. When the law switched and they started charging pimps with human trafficking.
Oh, he probably said shit.
A lot of pimps got the fuck away from it.
Yeah, he probably
because that put it to you like this: the feds know this. They know they got 15 years. On Diddy right now. They know, regardless of anything, we have you on human trafficking charges.
Absolutely.
Because you put Cassie on private jets and you forced her into sex acts. Booyah. We have that. What Diddy has to do right now, if it's humanly possible, is try to get with Cassie. Try to get somehow.
That ain't gonna work.
Why not?
You know, if Cassie was smart, she would just go ahead and drop all them damn charges and say she made it up. And get, I mean, I'm just
she made up nothing because that's making false police statements.
Okay, but he can bail her out for that. What's she gonna do? 6 months?
What? No. She's gonna come out and say I was lying on Diddy and they spent all this money to raid Diddy and do all this. No, they fuck her up.
She'd have more money. She'd have more money. He'd never whoop her ass again. She'd have more money and she'd have that nigga in the bag.
His lawyers or his team have to somehow get with her lawyer and her team on the low.
Just an affidavit. All she gotta do is affidavit.
They gotta say, hey, Diddy got $70 million for you. All you have to do is walk into court and say, I plead the fifth.
But you know what? But here's it's a RICO.
That's why. Hold on. That's why they came up with the hotline, because they know that possibility, what I just said, could happen. I mean, that's why the judge was not hearing anything about no bail, because it's very possible. Now you remember what happened with R. Kelly and the girl he peed on and all this and that. Once she had to testify, she pled the fifth. So they know that at the end of the day, Cassie has no career. She has nothing. She's not, like an actual star. So what about Diddy would say, hey, you see that $48 million condo or that $48 million home in Vegas? That's yours. Or Miami, that's yours.
But now they're saying that he called a bunch of witnesses, which he shouldn't have called anybody for credibility. He should have just, because look at this right here. This is. I heard something where they said that he called a witness 48 times or something. And this is the big piece right here, number 13.
He called her 54 times. That's the reason why the judge was like, I'm not letting you out.
He could beat the other stuff, but this is the big thing. This is the mafia thing, bro. The racketeering conspiracy. See, conspiracy is almost worse than you just doing it. If you conspire to say, yeah, we're going to set that nigga up, you're better get shooting the nigga. But if you and I get on the phone and say, well, yeah, man, I know where he be at, and we hating on him, and man, we jealous, and blah, blah, blah. No, and let's plan this out. You get more time from conspiracy. It says from 2008 or about the date of the filing of this indictment, Combs Enterprise, described in paragraph 6 through 12, has engaged in the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together with each other to violate the racketeering laws of the United States, Title 18, United States Code, Section 1962, to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. A, kidnapping, chargeable under the following provisions of state law, California Penal Code, blah, blah, blah. B, arson. C, bribery.
The arsonist saying he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
Oh, man.
Him and Albie Shore's son.
Man, it's over. See, that's mafia stuff. We see movies. You and I never seen that in real life. We step out of car, nigga, shit blow up. Man, that's conspiracy to murder, bro. He's done. He's done if they saying that.
He's done, bro. He's finished.
Yeah, I'm talking about just for racketeering. The RICO, you're finished. You're finished just with the RICO. The drugs ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. But the RICO for to blow some shit up, man, that's count. Okay, it's saying here.
Somebody got with Cassie when Diddy and her broke up or something happened. He found out and tried to kill that motherfucker.
So he's a simp.
No. That's
simping.
He's drug addict, man.
So you saying it's a drug? No, we can't do that, man.
Plus, like for Diddy, you know, through the years, has gotten real square. You know, trying to get in there with Ellen DeGeneres and all this. But at the end of the day, the motherfucker wasn't like. I mean, he's not gang affiliated, but he wasn't no punk.
Well, his dad was a rat. You know that, right?
Was in love but see, he was in love with this young lady. And she's gorgeous. I can't take nothing away from her.
You could have got another one, Diddy. You got a RICO over this.
You could tell the next guy across the street that too. He's a human. You could tell the next dude across the street the same thing. You can go get you another girl. I want her. He's going to be more possessive than most people. And he didn't put money into her, lied to her, and told her he's going to get her career going. So this is what happened. This is the real scoop. Okay, he hired her. She was okay with doing all this under the assumption that you're going to give me a career. I'm going to get the Aaliyah R. Kelly plug. That was the whole narrative. Okay, she realizes this ain't going to happen. He's just fucking with me and he's doing nothing for my career. I ain't even in the studio. Okay. So I'm gonna get with Kid Cudi. Fuck this motherfucker. All right, I'm gonna blow Kid Cudi's car up. She gets back with Diddy for a little while. Diddy hires her a personal trainer.
Why would she get with Kid Cudi?
Who knows? Why would she get with Diddy? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Diddy's got a hell of a history too. So he hires her a personal trainer. Personal trainer is a white boy. She ends up marrying the white boy, cheating on Diddy and marrying the white boy, starting a family with him. Diddy says, okay, bitch. Clyde Owens, Clyde Davis, all you motherfuckers, you see this bitch right here? Nothing. Blackball. Okay. Blackball? Okay. Lawsuit. Lawsuit. Now, you see how Diddy reacted when that little Rod, when he sued? He said, this is bullshit. I'll see you in court. Remember how he said that? When Little Rod, the producer kid, he sued Diddy. He's suing Diddy now. Dude, he said, this is bullshit. I'll see you in court. What did he say when Cassie sued her? He paid that bitch the next day. The Fed seen that shit and said, okay. What's up? What's up? Had Diddy reacted the same way he did with Little Rod, when Cassie sued him, he said, yeah, this is just a disgruntled bitch. I ain't giving this bitch shit. Fuck you. I don't think he'd be dealing with what he's dealing with right now. I think the way he acted and hurried up and paid that bitch, he ain't want nothing more getting out. Fed said, we got something here. And to see how arrogant this motherfucker is, I'll give you two things to show you how arrogant this motherfucker is. Not only is he dumb enough, after all this R. Kelly shit, to be recording shit, he knew the feds was on him. He didn't even have the decency or the sense to get rid of the video footage. The feds have 500 hours of freak off shit, and you don't know what's being said on there.
So they're looking through all of it.
Suck this motherfucker's dick, bitch. You gonna suck that dick, bitch. Yeah, bitch. You don't know what he's doing because he can get vulgar. Okay, now the other one that'll show you this motherfucker got a real drug problem. So he flew back from Miami, basically when the lawyers told him, like, you about to get arrested here pretty soon, you know? So he flew back to New York recently, this week. They found pink cocaine in the hotel room when they busted him.
Special delivery.
Now, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they found pink cocaine in the room when they busted him. We will tell you, He came back because his lawyer told him, you're about to get arrested. You might as well turn yourself in, so come on back. He said, all right, I'll come back. They come and bust him, and he's got dope in the room, which to tell you what kind of real drug problem he had. He in that cell right now, throwing up.
When I think of the cocaine, this is what I think of.
Pink cocaine too.
I think of this right here. You know, when they say cocaine, and you know, Diddy didn't have no cheap cocaine. If he had any cocaine, he had some shit like this right here. Special delivery. If it was pink cocaine, that nigga had a special delivery. He had to. That was special. That wasn't no regular shit.
And you know, when they said Rico, pink cocaine is like, I'm guessing it's like hydro weed. Like next level.
Oh, that
you
Walter White. He had that Walter White.
Well, guess what?
Fish and spaghetti. Fish and spaghetti.
He ain't got enough. And you know, and part of that Rico, and they said with Kid Cudi's car, his son was involved in that. That would be the ultimate sign of coonery and trashness is if he allows his kids to be involved in this, drugging women and doing all this. This is terrible, man.
Well, his son been trying to play tough. He better calm down because he'll be up there in Brooklyn. See, here's the thing, bro.
I don't know. His son seems kind of unhinged.
You know what? I realized something, man. Me and my wife was talking about, you know, this thing. Because, you know, like I say, bro, like, I feel like this. You know, this is what I think. Well, remember I sent you that article with Weinstein, and this nigga got a house. This nigga was on house arrest. He was on $5 million bail, bro. Been raping people left and right for decades. And y'all can't put Diddy back in the Rolls Royce?
Did he? Yeah, but did he contact a witness 54 times a week before?
He probably didn't. He probably did 10 times worse. What I'm saying is a predator is a predator. No selective justice.
You leave the judge no room. Like, where was his lawyers?
He was high.
Hey, bro,
he was off the pink cocaine. Only a man that was high would do something like that.
54 times?
Yeah, that's desperate.
Well, the judge said you're not to be trusted. Because we both know Diddy is gonna try to buy some people off.
You got a point. I would. I'm calling you up right away. Let me tell you, if that was me, you're the first nigga I'm gonna call. Hey, bro, I got a couple $100,000, man. Can we try to figure this out on the low or something, man? Can you show up and get saved? I'm a halfway decent nigga. Do you know how embarrassing that is that you have to pay people to say you're decent?
Yeah, man, Diddy's gonna have outside of TVJ.
Man, you're supposed to have an army. You know, remember I told you, bro, I had been out of work 6 months. I won't get into detail and stuff like that, but you kind of know the nosedives and shit I've been through in the last year. Like I went from making damn near $200K to being out of work in 6 months. I have 10 to 15 to maybe 100 people that I could call that could give me a good reference. Like, man, DP a good dude. Nigga, you a billionaire. You ain't got now one nigga to say, man, you solid? Man, all the people, you know what? I'm about to call out to celebrities, man. What's up with Obama? Nigga, you supposed to get up on here and say, hey, man, that nigga need to repent for his sins. Yeah, he did some slimy shit, but have some compassion. Man, that nigga was stomping for you Democrat niggas. P. Diddy was stomping for you niggas. Reparations to die or vote or die. Y'all can't slide my man a little bit of room. See, I'm looking at it from the celebrity standpoint.
Where the white women at? I mean, he could have been doing this thing. He could have been abusing white women.
Oh, you know, he would have already been in jail.
When you seeing, but if you're a black person, you watching him, he's abusing his own people. Every artist, every team, everything. Where are the whites? Where are the white artists?
Well, you see what he tried to do. He won the money. But they didn't forget about that liquor lawsuit. They said, all right, nigga, all right, we got you.
How do you liquor lawsuits and beating up Kathy?
That's crazy.
He went too far.
That is insane.
He went too far. And you see a pattern. When you see a pattern of shit that don't add up, that's drugs.
And you know, here's something else that people here's something else that people ain't thinking about. There's something else that people ain't thinking about outside of the drugs and the arrogance and the money. Diddy did not have a father.
What age did his father
You're
die?
not gonna hear this. Nobody's not gonna hear this. No one's ever gonna bring this up in another podcast. All niggas is gonna talk about is the baby oil. All they're gonna talk about is the money. They're gonna talk about these little, the influence in the industry and all the money he had and the arrogance and the vanity. But nobody's not going to bring up the fact that he didn't have a solid male in his corner. Now I don't know when his dad died, but what I'm saying is at that point, with his however old he was. See, Kelly can say, but Kelly can't read and write. So Kelly could have said, yeah, I did some bullshit, but I've been sexually abused since I was 8 years old. That's what I would have said if I was R. Kelly. Diddy can't use that same thing because he was kind of smart. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of smart. Diddy built, let's be real about it. He built all that up.
Yeah, he did.
Whether he might have beat some people or did whatever, but
he built it.
Excuse that he's dumb.
No, he's not dumb. Hell no, he ain't dumb. Absolutely not. He made a dumb decision. He made some decisions.
R. Kelly was illiterate.
Yeah, R. Kelly didn't know shit. You got to think. You have to look at R. Kelly from the standpoint. I'm saying psychologically. If he were to go and he were to go see a Sigmund Freud, or he would to go and and they sat him down and say, "All right, R. Kelly, how did this all start? Why you smacking these young girls' butts?" Oh, when I was 6 years old, my older sister was touching on me. You know what I'm saying? He could have. He could have said, well, my older sister was touching on me since I was 5 or 6. Society's gonna kind of look at it and be like, all right, nigga, something's wrong with you. We can see that. That we have proof of that. And I've seen pictures of him like sitting on somebody's lap. And if you've seen the picture and I showed it to you, you would automatically know, like, okay, there's some incest going on in his family. Because he was too old to be sitting on their lap. You know how like a child is maybe 4 or 5 years old and they're sitting on their parents' lap? He was like 16, 17 or something. Like, if you've seen it, it would look like a toddler. So like, okay, this boy's been touched. You still there?
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, you could tell. So R. Kelly can use that as an excuse to a certain degree because, yeah, he's 50 years old, but the nigga got like a 16-year-old mind.
R. Kelly is stupid.
So he wasn't, he got mental health, he got all this. Diddy can't use that. Diddy can't, all Diddy can say is, man, I was high. Okay, but nigga, you built up $1 billion business. How are you going to excuse that? Well, my dad wasn't around. Well, there's a lot of niggas in the ghetto where their dad ain't around and they don't do what you did. So, I want to give a timeline of something else other people ain't talking about. A lot of these little bullshit gossip sites ain't going into the detail. 1996, what happened? 1996.
Pac and Big.
Oh, there you go. Now, we've heard some stories where, because remember, there's been reports that Diddy was dealing with the Compton Crips or something like that. But, he was... Think about this. Let's really play the devil's advocate. There was a time where Diddy and Suge Knight were on talking terms. How the fuck do we don't know that these niggas got on the phone like, hey, bro, how much these niggas worth? But anyway, that's a legend. Anyway, so 1996, we do know for a fact Bad Boy and Suge Knight had the world on lock, right? Platinum hits, back to back, back to back, back to back. All right. Good times. Good times, man. All right, now let's go over to 2002. What happened in 2002 with Bad Boy? Arista Records. Bad Boy was falling. You remember that? Bad Boy wasn't doing too good. Cash Money Records had it. Rockefeller had it. Bad Boy wasn't doing too good, bro. That nigga had to sell some stuff or had to... Okay, so now, all right. What happened in 2008? They said 2008 in the RICO indictments, a lot of the parties. Diddy got his money back up between 2002 and 2008. 2009, he's still going through them parties. In the next decade to 15 years, he's getting his money back up. You got the Danity Kane. You got, he's got the Love albums. Diddy's doing pretty damn good. He got the liquor license and all of that. So we're going from 2002 to 2008 to 2009. They're focusing on 2008 in the indictment. They didn't say 2002. So they're basically saying, nigga, over a decade, you've been involved in these weird little parties. You've been flying people out. You've been smacking them up. You got baby oil. You doing all this little sex shit. And then you done slapped up Cassie. So
all they have.
then within the last couple years, you said, I'm about to hold the vote. Now, what he didn't mean, now remember what Diddy said. You were like, okay, black leadership. Diddy went and got Killer Mike, Tariq, he got Camilla Moore. He got all the heavy hitters that understood what reparations should look like for the descendants of slaves, foundational blacks, foundational freedmen. You notice he wasn't on that stage. He said, okay, I can't speak to it. I can't articulate it like how I want to. I understand business, but I'm going to let the heavy hitters know, I'm going to let them speak. So he said, okay, he probably consulted them, paid them some money and said, look, we need a reparations platform. I'm trying to get back into the graces of black folks. He had the Revolt TV. That was like BET. Revolt TV was like BET with some of the right ideas, I'll say. I'm not going to say Revolt was perfect. I'm not going to say it was trash. But it was better than what BET is. I'll say that. Yeah. Because BET never, ever mentions reparations. Facts. They don't mention that shit. They might be forced to mention it in the next 2 months, but they don't never mention that. They never mention reparations. Not once. So he had them on the platform saying, America run my check, which is old. And he probably said, all right, let me get back into the graces of black folks. Diddy should have did this 10 years ago. So that's only my recommendation for him is he should have did this a long time ago because, but I think he had to know years ago, man, that this RICO's coming. Nigga, you gotta know that something's coming. He's a calculated dude. He's not stupid. You gotta know that this shit's coming, man. You gotta know something's coming down the pipeline.
His lawyer said that as soon as he got raided, he said, I knew he was going to get arrested within a few months.
Oh, they know. For sure they know. They're federal lawyers. They deal with RICOs. They know.
Yeah, but he didn't take heed. Why didn't he erase the footage? Why didn't he throw away those tapes?
Well, when they raided his house, that's what I'm saying. Remember we were having this discussion before. The feds come in at 4-5 in the morning. They've been planning this for months. They knew he wasn't there. They're just coming in.
Cassie comes with the lawsuit, I'm throwing away everything.
Yeah, but here's the thing, bro. He should have did that 3 years ago. In his mind, he was like, I got proof that shows that I didn't force y'all to do nothing. There's probably some all kind of shit on them damn tapes. There's probably stuff.
500 hours worth of footage.
It's probably every nigga that we respect. When they get done with them tapes, me and you gonna be sitting up here like, oh, I can't listen to that nigga. Oh, I can't listen to him no more. Oh, that was a 5 mic album. Nope, done with him. Done with him. Done with.
The feds are gonna let that shit leak.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. They gonna do because here's another thing we got to keep in mind. The white supremacists and the race soldiers, they never do anything in the good graces of blacks. Even if it makes it seem like, oh, we got a predator off the streets. We got a criminal. Oh. Yeah, but y'all helped create some of this. When you look at COINTELPRO and what happened to the Panthers and stuff like that, what did they do? They sent in a bunch of coon Panthers. Oh yeah, brother, we real. Yeah, man, we all here for black folk and all this. They send in people that look like you, bro, that you think are in your best interest to infiltrate you. They're not doing that to help blacks out. They're doing that to destroy black society. See, here's another thing, and this is something that a lot of folks don't know. Me and you were talking about offline. This was a great legacy, a great opportunity. If you think about you got to look at it from the standpoint that these were very wealthy blacks that were powerful to a certain degree in the system of white supremacy. They still had some sway. This was a good look for black American culture. Yeah, it's not fucking perfect, but you got some black folks that got some real money out of this shit. Now there's some detriment. Yeah, some of the shit might have been ratchet or whatever. But what I'm saying is, someone this powerful is not supposed to go out like this. We were supposed to look at a Sean Combs as an example and a blueprint for a successful black business. Right? So now what happens is, and see, this doesn't typically happen with whites. Whites will do shit 50 times worse than that. And then they could still restructure it like, well, you know, look at what he's done for society. And oh, he was a... Their entrepreneurship is not going to get tarnished like that. Do you know, to this fucking day, I have never seen a white man in my job say anything against Harvey Weinstein. Not once. White people don't do that. I have never seen a white man or a white woman say, hey, don't watch Scary Movie Part 1, 2, 3. Weinstein Companies is going to get some royalty money out of it. I've never heard a white person say that to me a day in my life. Keep in mind, let's look at the Weinstein. I want folks to really understand how deep this goes. Let's look at the Weinstein Company films. You still there?
Yeah.
How many of us saw Hateful Eight? You seen the Hateful Eight. You seen Django Unchained and Glorious Bastards, Scream 4. They don't make the movies anymore. Let's break it down. These movies are still playing. Remember, they done took R. Kelly's shit off. I think they should put it back on there. We should still be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not taking, man, Wordplay, The Real, Pulse, Scary Movie 4, School for Scoundrels, Alex Rider, Bobby, Black Christmas, Miss Potter, Hannibal Rising, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Grindhouse Terror, Dead or Alive, 1408, Black Sheep, The Last Legion, Dedication. I'm going to keep on going. The Great Debaters, that was with Denzel Washington. In co-production with Harpo Films. Who's Harpo? Oprah. Rambo.
Oprah was good friends with him.
Man, she was the homie. Still good friends. Still good friends.
He put a few dollars on his books.
Yeah, still good friends. She'll play that little bullshit role, that old little feminist bullshit role. Still Halloween 2. Come on, man. Janky Promoters. Young Jeezy, Ice Cube. That was on Weinstein.
He stole Scary Movies from the Wayans brothers. That was their idea and their concept. He stole it from them.
I heard about that. Hurricane Season.
He don't have any creativity.
Piranha 3D. Apollo 18.
That's Will Smith, isn't it?
I don't know if that was Will. Killing Them Softly. That was with Brad Pitt. Dark Skies. I remember that. That was a good 2013 under Blumhouse. Shout out to Blumhouse. I'm a big fan of them. Dark Skies that came out in 2013. The Butler. Lee Daniels. The Butler.
Lee Daniels, he's another one.
Lee Daniels is,
He probably was at a couple of them parties too.
Look who was in the Butler. Cuba Gooding Jr., John Cusack, Mariah Carey, Oprah Winfrey, David Banner, David Oyelowo, Robin Williams. Yeah, David Banner, Lenny Kravitz. They had a lot of people under the Butler. That was a good movie with the main person in the movie was Forrest Whitaker. That was a good movie. But Clarence Thomas Williams. You remember my man that was in Tales from the Hood? The shit. Do you remember Tales from the Hood? The little demon, the little mortician dude. He was in there. They had that distributed by the Weinstein Company. I'm just saying. Man, hell yeah. Vampire Academy, The Immigrant, Sin City, the second Sin City.
Spotify takes Bad Boy all bad boy music off of their platform, that's going to be bad, man.
See, that's my point. If they just say, and see, all they're gonna do is they're gonna take it off. If they take it off, they'll strip him of his assets, and then you'll have a Jewish company buy it. That's what's gonna happen. That's the worst that's gonna happen. So what my point is,
if he was smart, he'd sell it right now.
I mean, it's best to probably sell it now. He's probably thinking, well, maybe there's a way for me to get out of this, but their hooks are into you too tough, dude. You're not going to be able to beat this because you don't have any black support.
Not only do you not have, you don't have any support, period.
None.
And the only support he has is from people he's paying.
Can you imagine if Bad Boy Records would have been a conduit years ago, 10 years ago, if Obama would have came to him, hey, vote or die, and he would have told Obama, go fuck yourself. Or go fuck a dude like you usually do, allegedly. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Obama.
Not beat. What about start off with the locks?
That's the first thing. Hey, locks. I'm not gonna wait because I think he gave him the royalties maybe 2-3 years ago. But I'm not gonna wait, man. I'm gonna
get the royalties back once he made all his money off it.
All right.
Same thing he did with Biggie's mom.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna change the tide of history because now. What the locks can say right now is, yeah, he gave it to us, but they know deep down inside is, man, you could have gave us that a long time ago, but now you're in deep stuff. See, that's my point, bro. You could have gave it to them. Yeah, you made all your money back. You could have gave it to them over 5 to 7 years ago. You could have gave it to them a long time ago. Now you ain't got nothing. You're sitting in a federal Brooklyn detention center. You've never been in this situation before. You could have gave them that money a long time ago. That's what I'm saying.
Dylan, he's gonna more than likely he's gonna die in prison, bro.
See, and look, you could have had the grassroots. Black folks wouldn't have gave a damn. See, for example, like with the OJ thing, he had the black grassroots. Yeah, niggas is like, okay, he cooning a little bit, but they're like, okay, well, hold on, wait a minute. This nigga,
come on, man.
Yeah, but OJ, but here's what OJ didn't do. OJ didn't rip no niggas off. He didn't take $1 out of black folk. That's the difference between him and Diddy.
He wasn't in a position to.
OJ, all OJ said is, oh, I'm not black.
To say OJ Simpson cooned a little bit is one of the dramatic understatements you could ever make.
Are you telling me that OJ cooned more than what we got to consider? What Diddy did was some cooning too. If we gotta look at the measurement, if we gotta look,
it's a form of cooning. But if you talk to Diddy at any point in time, he would tell you he's a proud black man. He'd have never told you, no, I'm not black, I'm puffy. And,
there's a lot of proud black men that were on the plantation, Solomon. There was a bunch of proud black men that was on the plantation that told on other slaves.
They're on the plantation?
Yes, there was proud black men on the plantation. On the American Southern plantation, there was black folks that were proud. Hey, I'm black. I'm the head nigga in charge. I'm a nigga. And turn around, and when he saw other niggas running off the plantation, oh, hold on, massa, that nigga won't be free.
That's figuratively speaking, okay? But you can't compare Diddy in the way he carried himself.
I mean, he carried. That's what makes it worse. That's a form of.
Simpson was never associated with anything black. He was cool off of that shit. Where O.J. Simpson got the support is from when he was a ball player. And a lot of people from that generational time frame were huge fan of his. And who was his attorney? Johnny Cochran. That's where he got his love from, and that's where he got off. And if you notice something, you've never seen it again.
But he got off. But you know what's worse?
Black America felt like they got fooled.
Here's the thing.
Never wrote for anybody again after that.
Here's the thing with you. Here's the problem with the Combs situation.
Where is it though? Where is the other foundational that got jammed up by the law and they went nuts like they did for OJ? You've never seen it again.
Here's the thing you need to understand about what happened.
I'm not answering the question.
No, I'm answering it. What happened to LA, you know why black folks was mad about that? It wasn't about OJ. They didn't care. They weren't tripping on the cooning. The issue with let me tell you, the issue with OJ was they got tired of black folks being railroaded, and they got tired of what happened, especially with the Rodney King situation. That's why they wanted him to get off. It wasn't so much as, I mean, they knew he was a coon, but the bottom line is, bro, is he's still black. He may think he's a coon, but the thing is when I walk down the street, I could be like OJ. I could be a successful OJ, and the cops kill me and try to get away with it. LA wasn't having it. That's why. And look, the cop that put the evidence at OJ's house, when they asked him if he did it, what did he say?
That's a whole nother. You talking the specifics of the case.
No. We're gonna dig deep.
The way O.J. Simpson portrayed himself as an individual prior to his case.
Okay, so you're saying he portrayed himself as a coon. He portrayed.
We're not talking about we're talking about what you see. Diddy was of the culture.
Yeah, he was.
Now, did you see the statement Diddy said there? We're not gonna do this. We need this to vote. We're gonna need this and that. We're not gonna be looked at as
But that's why he's sitting in a cell today, Solomon. Because hold on. Wait.
Because of his actions.
He's sitting
here and try to act like there's some kind of backstory to what this man was doing. You can't. It's clear as day. The man was negligent and doing very, very flagrant things. And guess what? When they raided his home in Florida, they found 3 rifles without the serial numbers on them. What's up with that?
Who you talking about? Diddy?
Diddy. Yes. What's up with that?
I mean, there's people got guns all the time without serial numbers. You're not supposed to have them. But here's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yet and still, you're engulfed with the culture. But look how you did your folks. That's worse than OJ. See, OJ, that's worse. That's 10 times worse.
It's worse, but I'm saying the public perception.
Okay.
If Diddy was of the culture.
Yeah, he was. He was.
After Black America stood up for O.J. Simpson and rode and basically got that man off, where is the next black man that they got off?
But bro, I'm trying to tell you in L.A.
Well, guess what? If they get Donald Trump on these charges, whatever they got on him, if they end up getting him, even if he gets locked up for 30 minutes, January 6th is going to get him out.
Oh yeah, they're gonna pull up. Even if they can't get him out the building, they pulling up.
He's getting out. You know what I mean? Let him get 3-4 years or some shit. They're getting him out in 30 minutes. Black America did the same thing for OJ. Where have they done it again? They were fooled. Then he starts
They weren't fooled, bro. They were not fooled. Black people understood exact. Ask a nigga from California, LA, hey man, what was OJ's resume? They'll tell you, man, that nigga don't never hang around no black folks. The reason why they rallied for OJ, it wasn't so much for OJ. It was for black Americans in LA. Because black folks got tired of getting railroaded because you got to think, this cop, and that's why I'm telling you it's pertinent to this situation. Stop thinking about OJ. Just think about a random coon that might have had money or might have not had money. Let's just think about a random coon or just a random black person. Think about a random black person that gets set up by the police by a crooked cop who's been doing this forever. That cop, when he got on the stand, they asked that nigga, did you set up OJ? He said, I plead the fifth. Man, if somebody asks you today, hey man, did you touch that child? Nigga, you ain't gonna say you pled the fifth. You gonna be like, hell no. You not gonna say, I plead the fifth. Hey, Solomon, are you a pedophile? I plead the fifth. You not gonna say that, bro. Ain't no way in hell you gonna say no shit like that. You gonna be like, oh, hell no. No, I'm innocent. He kept saying, I plead the fifth. Every single thing they asked that man about placing evidence, he would not say yes or no. He pled the fifth. This is supposed to be an officer of the law. So
you're going a whole nother realm.
No. What I'm telling you, you made
trying to make a point.
No.
What we're saying is
blacks were not fooled. Blacks weren't fooled.
No, the black America was fooled by O.J. Simpson.
No, they were not.
No, yes, they were. We understand what happened in California We understand how
We
the
weren't
people
fooled, bro. We knew he was a coon. We always did.
So the proof is, where is Black America? Where have they ever done that again? Where? We've seen so many injustices to celebrities, to random people. Where has that ever happened
What
again?
injustice against celebrity? Name one.
We're just seeing one. We're seeing constant black men get railroaded. They might be doing something that's kind of a little bit. We're seeing pettiness. So the point I'm trying to make is, where is that?
I think a lot of black folks. This is what I think, bro. I think a lot of black folks, in terms of celebrities. Now, when it comes to a break,
again, I'm asking that question. Where have you ever seen Black America say, fuck this?
Black folks are not getting behind the celebrities because 98% of these celebrities that you say are in injustice, they do shit like this. They wake up one day, 2 years down the line, and say, man, I need some help from black support. But the middle finger was against us for forever.
Well, isn't that a good way to describe O.J. Simpson?
This ain't a situation like Breonna Taylor. You see what I'm saying? She ain't a celebrity. This is a regular black person like us. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about celebrities, this is what these celebrity niggas do. What they do is they'll either do some goofy shit for years and years, and they get themselves in a pickle, and they're like, "Oh, hey, y'all help me out, man. Speak on me." And we're like, "Well, bro, if that was me, I wouldn't even got myself in that situation." That's how we're looking at it. We're not like stomping down on his head. We're saying, "Man, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up." Most black folks ain't saying that. They're just like, "Hey, bro, I ain't got much to say about this. Man, you done got yourself in a janky situation. You're smarter than that."
If you said that about OJ would have never got out of that.
If black folks wouldn't have stomped down for OJ be in prison right now.
Yeah. And guess what? If white folks are going to stop for the fact that whoever's prosecuting Trump already knows what the turnup's going to be. They ain't fucking with him.
But one thing you have to keep in mind, you're not talking about a place like Chicago or Minnesota or New York. You are talking about South Central LA. That is a completely different alien. Their history of turning up and demanding justice is different. I just want you to understand that.
How come they haven't done it again?
Ain't nobody played. You can't name nobody that played around down there. The last time, what happened? What happened with Floyd? They knew not to play. You see what I'm saying? They started to kind of get riled up down there in LA too. They weren't gonna fuck with them black folks down there like that. When's the last time you heard about a nigga kicking somebody's ass in LA? You haven't heard that in years. They not gonna do it, and if they do it, they gonna do it on the slide, maybe in an alley or something like that. They not just gonna jump out on a black person and just beat them like Rodney back in the day. That don't happen. Now you've been seeing it in Florida. You've been seeing it in these different places like North Carolina and stuff. You've seen it on camera. Not in LA. They don't go for it, bro. That's not the place they don't go for it. They have a revolutionary spirit there. It's different. They will go to war with the law out there. They will put belt to race soldiers' ass in the quickness.
And so will race soldiers to them too.
I mean, they'll do it to them. They'll do it to them too out there. But they know that if the police put belt to blacks in LA, black folks will put belt. I've seen footage of them getting ready to put belt to the LAPD, and the LAPD knew, like, okay, we need to kind of calm down. These niggas Inglewood crazy. They know they have a history of doing that shit. They will put belts. You see what I'm saying? So it probably hasn't been a bunch of situations where they've had to do little sneaky shit like these little these LAPD gang units and the sheriff and stuff. They'd had to do little sneaky little alley shit and stuff like that. But if George Floyd would have happened in South Central LA, the LAPD force would have had it would have been some bodies. That wouldn't have happened out there like that. They don't allow it. They don't, bro. They have a history. So like OJ, they were mad, especially with OJ, because they remember what happened with the Watts riots in the 60s when Rodney King got beat and the cops got off. Remember, the cops didn't go to jail over that. The jury, they moved the jury outside of South Central LA to some redneck town, some sundown town, like 40 miles outside LA, and they got the cops off. That was the whole point. They moved the jury there because they knew that they get an all-white jury to say, oh, these cops beat his ass. He was high. He was running from the cops. Oh, well. And niggas turned up. They said, all right, here comes OJ. We not letting that happen again. We will set this. California was terrified. They said, okay, we're going to give him a fair trial. And the trial was fair. They tried to use a cop to railroad him. That didn't work. This cop, even if you take OJ out the equation, bro, actually it was good that happened to OJ. You know why? Because that cop that had planted that fake evidence, that tried to plant that fake evidence on OJ, has been known to plant fake evidence on black folks in LA. That was a known thing. He was known for that. So that kind of put the spotlight on him. That wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for OJ's tap dancing ass. And coon or not, that nigga's still a fucking legend. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't take away from the fact that he was cooning or not, doesn't take away from that cop planting fake evidence. That cop that was planting fake evidence on black folks in LA, it fueled the fire, because now OJ can say, well, yeah, you know, I'm not black, I'm OJ, but you planted fake evidence on me. Now the world sees, like, wait a minute, you've been planting fake evidence on niggas in LA all the time, which he did. And he admitted it, because he wouldn't say he didn't. He never said, oh, I didn't do it. He said, I plead the fifth. Nigga, that means you did it. You did it. You can't say you didn't do it, because you won't even stand on your own square to say you didn't. Grown man's supposed to be admitted, man, I did it or I didn't. You put your hand on the Bible and lied. I plead the fifth. You basically said I did it, because you didn't say you didn't do it. I asked you, did you plant fake evidence on O.J. Simpson? Did you plant fake evidence on black Americans? You never said you didn't do it, so you did it. Because if you ask me a question if I did something or not, and I'm sitting in front of the court, bro, I'm going to say yes or no.
You never asked if he planted fake evidence.
They asked him, did he plant fake evidence? That was one of the questions.
No, it wasn't. The question was, did he ever use the N-word? Okay? So you want me to pull up the audio? Yeah, please pull it up. Please pull it up.
Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me find it.
Now, hold on. Before you play that, was that a series of questions he was asked when he just pled the fifth to everything? Okay.
To my knowledge, he was.
Hold on. So he's asked, did you ever use the N-word? Okay. There is a producer that he was applying for a movie role for. And in that movie role, he is a crooked cop. So he's reading lines and he's saying this, and this. Johnny Cochran has access to this. That producer called him and said, hey, I have an audio of him using this and this and this for a movie role. Okay, let me get that off of you. So when F. Lee Bailey is asking him all these questions, at first he's denying it. And he goes, are you sure? Are you sure? He plays it for him. Then he asks him, he says, no, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth to that and to everything else you're asking me. So then F. Lee Bailey, being smart, goes, all right, you're pleading the fifth? Okay, did you plant evidence? I plead the fifth. Did you do this? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not saying he did, he didn't, he did, he didn't. But that's the actual fact of that situation.
Let me ask you.
So if you're going to plead the fifth, and then now if I'm a smart attorney, I'm going to start asking you everything then. Because I want you to plead the fifth to all of that. So that the key to that is that director of that movie who had that audio of him saying that, that's what caught him up. Is he a racist? Is he not a racist? I don't know. But it's very far-fetched, bro, to look at the evidence of that case and tell me O.J. Simpson had nothing to do with it. I don't know. I mean, it's very hard, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a whole nother story. I don't even really feel to get into that.
According to the white American court, they said not guilty.
It's hard to look at all that evidence and say that man had nothing to do with it.
The white folks
That's
said
hard,
the white folks said he's not guilty. Just like when they
Yeah.
want to
I gotta honor that. You gotta honor it. You got to. He had the greatest defense attorney in the history of defense attorneys. If that brother was alive now, Diddy wouldn't be going through this. A whole lot of brothers wouldn't be going through what this.
Look, if okay, check this out. If that cop, and see, that's what Cochran did. Cochran was brilliant. If that cop wouldn't have planted that evidence, OJ probably would have went to jail. Maybe he probably would have went to jail.
Oh, hey, DP, I got to take this call. This might be a resident in the building. I got to take this call.
Okay, call back if you can.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Okay, we're back at it. Check this out. Wanted you to get an update on this.
The former LAPD
this just happened. Just got this information in. There's a reason why they asked him those questions and why he can't get back in. Listen to this.
Meanwhile, the former LAPD detective who was convicted of lying during his testimony in the Simpson trial is not allowed to work in law enforcement again. That ruling about Mark Furman due to a California police reform law. He retired back in the 90s, and it's not known if he would even want the job and return to the job, but this decision makes that impossible. Furman pleaded no contest to perjury. He's not commenting.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Perjury. He lied.
They had the footage. Okay, so Johnny Cochran knows I have this tape in my back pocket of him using the N-word. Okay, so let me ask him, before I even talk about any tape, let me ask him if he's ever used the N-word. He said no.
You want to hear anything else I got more proof. Check this out.
I'm not listening to you, man.
It was a turning point.
I want to do this O.J. Simpson thing, bro.
Huh?
Because you're just not hearing me, dog. I'm telling you exactly what happened.
Okay. Well, I got some.
That's where the perjury came in. The perjury came in because they asked him, "Had you ever used the N-word?" He said no.
So you're saying they didn't ask him about planting evidence.
Listen, bro, DP, I'm gonna have to go, bro. You're not hearing me, dog. Once they asked him that and they showed him the tape and he said, "I plead the fifth." Anthony Bailey seen that as an opportunity. All right, let me ask him a bunch of other shit because I know he's going to plead the fifth. Okay? Now, can I repeat it again?
No, I hear you. But
I'm not saying he was innocent or guilty. That's how that scenario went down.
Now, I got...
Okay, it didn't go down the way you said. The way you're saying is they asked him, did you plant evidence? And that's not how that happened, bro. Okay, so what happened is once they caught him in the lie about the N-word, now they peeped he's using the fifth. So let's throw a bunch of other questions at him. Okay? So they said, did you plant evidence? I plead the fifth. Did you do this? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. Because they know what that made. This won their case for them. So you got to see the whole story. You can't just be throwing things out there. You got to peep everything.
Okay, well, I got.
What I just told you is a fact.
Okay, well, I have audio right here where it says OJ Detective Furman admitted in 97 that he tried having audio destroyed. And right here in the comment, I'm saying when someone is asked if they planted any evidence and they say pretty much, I don't want to answer that, pleading the fifth, there's no way the case can go on. So you're saying that what I said about that they didn't ask him that? There's somebody 7 years ago adding in this comment.
I just told you what happened. Listen, once they peeped that he's using the fifth for everything, that's when that question was asked. If you watch the actual clip, Anthony Bailey asked him a string of 4 questions right after they peeped that he's going to plead the fifth. They asked him watch the actual clip of that case in the court. Watch a whole clip of that whole situation. Then you can answer the question.
Okay,
they catch him in a lie, which is where the perjury comes in. Johnny Cochran sets him up. Have you ever used the N-word before, Mr. Furman? Never. I've never used it. Okay, cool. We'll ask you some more questions. Now, a couple of days later, here's this tape. What's up with this tape, Mr. Furman? I plead the fifth. Oh, now, once he does that, go listen to F. Lee Bailey.
Okay, I'll go
He
listen to
asked me
that.
a string of 4 or 5 questions.
Now, do you want to hear this audio that I got right here?
No,
I haven't heard it.
I don't want to hear it because I just gave you the actual fact. That audio don't mean shit. Go watch the actual court case, how it went down from beginning to end. Then you can answer that question. Because what you're showing me, you're trying to say that they caught him planting evidence. They did not. Okay? That's not what happened. There's nothing, that whole situation, the perjury situation has nothing to do with evidence. The perjury situation is because he got caught in a lie. He said he never used the N-word and he did. Pertaining to police force. And he did. Once he peeped, wait a minute, y'all got me. This is for some kind of movie, but y'all got me. How the fuck can I answer this? Boom, I'm done.
You do know that Furman is known for planting evidence in black folks in L.A. You do know that, right? I hope you do.
Never been convicted of that.
He wasn't convicted of it, but that doesn't mean he did it.
That's hearsay. That's just hearsay. So I'm not a Mark Furman defender. I'm just giving you the actual facts of what happened. I don't care about Mark Furman. I don't care about OJ. None of them.
But let's go back to your original statement. You said black folks were fooled. Black folks in L.A. were not fooled, Solomon. They were not confused.
I said in general, where have you seen Black America go nuts when somebody's been railroaded by the police since then?
Nobody's been interested.
You're telling me that why? In 30 years?
We don't get behind something unless we know it's real. If it's Trayvon or Breonna, okay. But
OJ is real.
We're not. What I'm saying is,
all these rappers that are getting railroaded and they're getting squeezed and they're getting petty. The feds are getting petty.
Most black folks don't really get behind a lot of the rappers and the P. Diddy's and stuff because a lot of these niggas be doing goofy shit that they kind of get themselves into some stuff. They might get railroaded to a certain degree, but a lot of these dudes, I'm gonna keep it 100. A lot of these dudes, they be riding around with dirty pipes. They be doing all kind of goofy shit that they don't need to do. Let somebody give me or you $500,000. Do you think me or you are going to be getting into dumb shit?
Well,
the answer is no, bro. You and I ain't going to be doing all that. Even in our 20s, we ain't going to be doing all that. But, you know, with the Diddy situation, it's like, okay, come on, bro. Like, besides the tapes and whatever, I don't know what he was doing on them damn tapes. It sounds pretty bad. But besides the tapes, folks ain't breaking their necks because we see you sitting up there with Obama to send us to hell over vote or die. You telling us we should die or vote, but you don't say reparations or die? You say vote or die, but not reparations or die. No.
8 years later, he backtracked though. 8 years later, he said, "Now we need to hold our vote."
And we respect that, but we need a little more time.
You did, and everybody else.
But what I'm saying is, black folks.
First ran. You telling me you didn't support him?
We did, but once we found out, you got to think we've been around Obama for 8 years. You know, we sent 2 years later. We see years later, but the thing with here's where Diddy messed up, and I said it like earlier. Diddy, from what I could see, it seemed like he had a long time where folks felt like he was getting over on him. This ain't just 10 years. We had 8 years with Obama. First, when Obama got in, okay, I voted the first time, and I wasn't politically intelligent like I am now. The second time, I said, oh, hell no, nigga. And the nigga was talking shit about Obama. Not Obama, talking shit about Baltimore and pointing the finger at us. He was like lecturing us. I said, damn, he ain't doing shit for Chicago. I said, fuck this nigga. Do you remember when the Locks was trying to get off Bad Boy? I thought that was funny style. When I saw that, I said, damn, why ain't he just letting these niggas go? He don't want to give them their royalties or nothing? They had to pretty much go to the street and threaten this nigga. You heard the video. He was talking shit, talking tough, and they told the nigga, hey, man.
That didn't work. You know, it got them. He gave it back to him once it was. Yeah, there was nothing.
They just wanted to be off Bad Boy. That was their main thing.
when you own their masters or royalties, all that, well, they can't make money.
But before that, bro, they wanted to get off Bad Boy. Remember, you may not remember this. I do. They were trying to get off Bad Boy because he was holding their contracts and making them stay. They were tired of that shiny suit shit. They wanted to do the street stuff. They always did. He wouldn't let them off the contract. They had to go to the streets and grassroots like a damn revolution, and the people forced P. Diddy to let them off them contracts. The fans, free the locks. Basically, if they wouldn't have got off them contracts, it might have got to a point where folks might have started looking at Diddy like, nigga, you kind of cooning a little bit. You doing like the white folks. You holding these niggas to their contracts. You might have had some black folks that might have seen Diddy and pulled up on him like, hey, bro, well, what's up? And he let him go from pressure.
Nobody's putting up on Diddy. Let's be real about it. Like, if you seen that argument on Angie Martinez, he said you guys talking tough. He said you guys are talking like you want to hurt me. You know, why don't you come see me? And he said, don't get on the radio and act like a tough guy.
We can't see you. Yeah, we can't get close to you. We can't get close to you because the thing is soon as we pull up on you, you're gonna run. You're gonna call the police. We're street niggas. You ain't. See, that's the thing.
You seen the interview with the publicist? I think what happened with that, man, I think DMX and Puffy sat down and came to an arrangement.
With the Rough Riders?
Yeah, because that's where they went, right?
Yeah, $3 million. You know that, right? They had to get it was like maybe like I think $1 to $3 million to get out that contract, and Puffy still owns some of the publishing on Rough Riders. Did you know that?
So you say they had to pay $3 million?
I think it was like well, this is how it works. There's a thing called cross collateralization. Okay? They went over to Rough Riders. Rough Riders said, all right, look, we'll pay the bill. How much you want to let these niggas go? Okay, it's a half a ticket, it's $1 million, it's whatever the case it may be. All right, well, look, I still get some royalties off these niggas because they still owe me a couple bucks. I put them in a shiny ass suit. I gave them money, power, respect. Hold on, we gotta pull up the I know it's petty, but we gotta pull up the instrumental. Oh shit, we gotta pull up. Oh gosh, this is one of my favorite beats. We have to.
Don't get on the radio and act like you're tough.
He said, don't get on. Yeah, we can't even. He said, we can't even get next to you.
Yeah, we can't get nowhere next to you, man. You already know that.
If I smack, you remember when Locks? Soon as Jadakiss did that single on the Locks, "We the Streets." You remember when we were at South High and that shit was playing? He says, "If I would have smacked you with the burner, but you probably sue." And I ain't talking to him. I'm talking to you. He was talking about Diddy.
They squashed it though, because if you remember,
they did
that clip, that infamous clip where Diddy's doing the whole on the Drink Champs. You know, don't you come party with me? You remember when he was doing all that?
Man, them niggas didn't go to none of them parties, probably.
Yeah, but Jadakiss is sitting there. He's at the table when he's doing that.
Yeah, you got
Jadakiss, Fabulous, Nori, and Puffy.
You got to look at it. Okay, think about it like this, bro. And see, that's why I said that. That's why I said what I said earlier. You got to think we were kind of kids watching this stuff kind of unfold. We were, students of music. You remember how serious I took it, like when I borrowed you my Busta Rhymes extension level event, and I didn't feel like you was gonna give it back. I'm like, man, we might have to fight. But that was a hot tape. You didn't want to give it back.
Yeah, that was hot.
That was a good tape. It was a great tape. And like the thing with extension level event, man, I like all the beats was cold. Like, I mean, that to me that was damn near a 5 mic album. So, we enjoyed the music. That came out in 99. We enjoyed the music. The cover was off the chain. I mean, Busta was snapping, he was spitting. And the thing is, bro, is like when we're watching this, they might be a little older than us, but they're still young too. So, I think when those albums were coming out, they might have been 22, 23, 24, 25, whatever the case may be. They probably didn't look at those contracts. They probably really thought this nigga was real. Hey, man, I'm going to make this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But, Diddy, he ain't from the streets. He's probably like, I'm just going to sign these street niggas. I can just kind of give them whatever deal they want. They gonna be okay with that. These niggas was selling drugs and shooting motherfuckers before they came aboard. Then once they like, man, I don't want to be in these shiny ass suits, man. We're the warlocks, because that's what they were before, the warlocks. So they after a while maybe they got aggressive, and then maybe
he's the one who dropped it to Locks.
The Locks. He made it to Locks because Puffy's a businessman. Puffy's not stupid. He's a businessman. He's like, damn, man, how can I sell this to my white folks? Because here's the thing. Diddy could talk all that arrogant stuff with me and you. Oh, I'll do this and I'll beat up Steve Stout and blah, blah, blah. And nigga, take that and walk and get me some cheesecake. He don't do that with them Jews.
No, not only Jews. He wouldn't do nothing like that with
he don't do that with white folk. He wasn't doing that. He don't never do that with white folks. So it's just like when me and you get on the job.
I never seen Diddy ever get aggressive. Or
never. He don't get aggressive with white people. He doesn't get aggressive with white people because white people will put your ass in jail and make sure, nigga, you don't get no money.
He was very close friends with her.
So what I'm saying is he
just owned them.
They probably told him, look.
Yeah, but DP, this Shine Poe situation has to be a deal.
Okay.
Because he just came out today, and then the girl, I have to apologize before I go any further to the young lady that got shot between the eyes.
Wasn't she asking for, hold on, wasn't she asking for snacks?
I have to apologize to her.
Why?
Because I thought, I was under the assumption that she just recently is saying that Puffy shot her. No, she said it the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Even back in the trial, she said it. The surgeon even said it when they was working on her right afterward. They said she kept saying, Puffy shot me. But I was under the assumption that she just started saying that now for a check. So I was being hard on her. But after doing a further review, I seen that she had been saying that the whole time. Now, Shine Poe, I don't want to hear nothing from this nigga.
What's wrong with Shine Poe?
Well, the first thing is he got out of jail and he was keying up with Diddy. Now he's saying the only reason he was doing that is because Diddy was helping the kids.
Well, you know why? And you know what? It's funny you say that because my wife took the same position that you did, and she felt like, okay, that nigga's being fake. I don't like Shine Poe. I don't like that shit. Man, because I don't fuck who you are, nigga. I'm fighting you. I'm kicking your ass. Man, we gonna have to shout out to Sean Poe. You know why? Shout out to Sean Poe. You know why? See, this is what Sean Poe was doing. Sean Poe looked at it from this angle, and he shouldn't have did it this way. But check this out. He felt like, okay, I know that Diddy is a conniving snake ass nigga. I went to prison. I went to fucking Dannemora prison. Do you know where Dannemora is?
No, is that tough?
Man, ODB went there. Bobby Smurder went there too. They send you there to straighten you out. You know what the guards tell you as soon as you get there? They tell you, hey, look, I don't care what you do to these other prisoners. He said, you disrespect one of my officers, he said, we'll unalive you up in here. The guards rednecks, they send you, they call that the North. They call Dannemora, it's really called Clinton Correctional Facility. It's the end of the line. It's up there in the mountains or some shit. And when they send you up there, you're pretty much, you're in like hell. It's a
yeah, but if you need a case, man.
So look, you were supposed to, you and J-Lo, Jenny from the block, y'all was supposed to go to jail. Sean Poe ended up, J-Lo started getting, J-Lo said, oh, I ain't Jenny from the block no more. She moved around. She said, okay, this nigga.
But my thing is this, the young lady who got shot in the face said on the record, I watched Diddy shoot me in the face.
Why did Diddy shoot her?
He had it out with a drug dealer at the club.
That nigga can't aim.
He can't aim, but the thing is, how does Shine Poe get convicted when the person who got shot is saying, "I saw who shot me"?
Because
somebody was paid.
He has power. He probably, when he shot the girl, he probably pulled Shine to the side and gave him the pipe and said, "Hey Shine, you from the streets? I can't go to jail. They gonna put lotion on me."
I was an official street dude at that point.
I think he was like that before that, but I think they tried to get him over. Man, I think what happened was if Diddy did that, and I don't know if he did, but maybe he did, because like I say, he's put it like this, bro. Somebody from the streets is not going to be as terrified as he is right now going to that Brooklyn facility. You see what I'm saying?
Brother?
Huh?
You coming from a life of luxury to that?
I know, but you're not going to be terrified. Because you're familiar with it.
You're no longer a street dude. Once you got a $50 million mansion, you're no longer a street dude. That's over.
Yeah, you're not a street dude anymore, but you're still not afraid. You get right. What I'm saying? Put it like this. I want you to think about it from this standpoint.
Soften you up a little bit, man.
I want you. Look, let me pause it. I want you to think about it from this standpoint. I never consider myself a street dude, but if you send me to that place tomorrow, and I know I'm going there at 6 a.m. tonight, I'm getting in the mindset of I'm gonna hurt somebody. I'm not thinking about suicide. You see what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, nigga, we got you on tape doing the Mayweather to a woman. You should be you should be able to do the same thing out there in that federal penitentiary.
When you're getting ready to get locked up, do you have $500 million in your account? When you're doing all this, you to get up and get ready to punch somebody?
but you got tapes of sex trafficking.
When you get ready to leave your house, your mansion, is a driver going to drive you to jail when you turn yourself in, or are you going to drive yourself? Or is your driver?
Someone's going to drive you. What I'm saying is this: Shine.
Did the chef come in with you?
Shine did 10 years for this dude,
which is bullshit. If I got out of jail, I'm punching Diddy. Or where's the check?
Shine's not gonna say it was Diddy because Shine looks at it like I'm from the streets. I can't say that it was
Shine
him.
Never said anything.
You said what?
So when in court, Shine never said it was Diddy.
No, he's from the streets. That's what I'm trying to tell you, baby. He's a street nigga. He's not looking at it like how the average person is looking at it.
Shine take the stand.
I don't know if he did, but he probably didn't have to because Shine already probably said, like, okay, I'll just go to trial. You got to think, they separated it. Yeah, they were supposed to be co-defendants. They separated it. Diddy got shook like, I'm going to lose everything I got.
Diddy was not trying to be no co-defendant with that nigga.
Man, he ain't trying to be no co-defendant. He's the one that did it. This is what he probably did, bro. He probably said, man, I gave you a platinum hit. I sent you down to the Caribbean. Yeah. He probably told that nigga, look, I got you, Shine. Just go in there, man. Just say I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Just go ahead and plead guilty. I got you.
He paid witnesses to say that Shine was a shooter.
That too. But what I'm saying, he didn't say that to Shine, though. He didn't tell Shine that.
Yeah, if I'm correct, this situation started with an altercation with Diddy and somebody else, and Shine was coming to Diddy's defense, right?
Yeah, I think what Shine did is he basically said, he probably just, and then he was young too. But Diddy kind of finessed him. I guarantee you.
But the problem started with Diddy and somebody else.
Yeah.
And Shine was defending Diddy.
Maybe it might have been some other nigga that was arrogant like him. Maybe Diddy might have. I heard it was some money that he threw in his face or whatever. That I heard that it was some situation where I can't remember what it was, but I think it was a situation where Diddy might have been in there arrogant as he is. It might have been some street niggas like, nigga, we ain't broke. It might have been some niggas in there just thought he was a bitch. It might have been some. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he probably felt like, man, fuck you, nigga. I got money too. See, that's the thing that people don't understand. People just think, well, it's just Diddy and he's in the club and ain't no other niggas with money. Man, it's some gangsters with money that they may not have money like him, but they got money. So they might.
How do you not have a guard with you?
I mean, he probably had a guard, but the thing is, the guard can't. He might have Gene with him or something. I mean, I don't know. But my point is that we street niggas will smoke Dean and you. You know what I'm saying, nigga? You're lame.
Time was on street mode.
I think he was in the club, and some niggas probably seen Diddy, said, "Nigga, you a hoe ass nigga. You beat women up or anything." It could have been anything. Niggas know what's going on. They might have been like, "Nigga, we got money," and threw the money in his face. And nigga, you a hoe. You ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'm a street nigga. I got money too. Threw the money in his face. Diddy probably said, "Oh man, this, that, and the third."
He got $1.8 million from Diddy.
Yeah, he might have gave him a couple of dollars and stuff. It wasn't worth going to Dannemora.
The lady got shot in the face. She ended up suing Diddy.
Yeah, she did. And you notice how that. Yeah,
she got 1.8 million.
Yep, she did. Probably had to sign an NDA and all that. And then after a while, she probably said, "Well, damn, either I ran out of money or, man, I know this nigga ain't right." See, all these dealings that people have had with him negatively have probably been like that. A bad deal, or somebody ripped someone off. He said he never ripped anyone off. But, I'm going to say this, bro. You cannot become someone of that stature if you don't kind of rip someone off a little bit. Now, legally, the deal may be legal. It may not be moral or ethical. I might say, well, yeah, Solomon, you signed it. You're going to be like, well, damn, DP, you could have gave me more. You knew the deal. You knew that I'm your boy. You should have looked out for me. You say this bad boy, baby, bad boy, take that. And I'm like, well, Solomon, you was in Cedar Square West selling crack, nigga. What would you mad at me, nigga? You was selling crack. You driving a Rolls Royce right now. You still looking at me like, well, nigga, I'm supposed to have 2-3 Rolls Royces. You making $100 million off me, and I'm like, well, nigga, you making $5 million a year. Before you was on 6th Street selling crack. What you gonna get mad at me because I put you in position? You ain't gotta sell crack no more. That's how that stuff usually goes.
Yeah. What about when he did the thing about the cheesecake and he made those kids walk all to the other side of town? He said, "Go get me a cheesecake."
Go get me a cheesecake. I would have never went and got that nigga a cheesecake, bro. Never. I would have just been off the show. But, they made it look like, well, if you really want to be ambitious and stuff like that. And here's another thing. See, I'm really playing the devil's advocate because I'm trying to give my nigga some room, but I'm like, damn, Shuck Holmes, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying to support this nigga, but he's making it hard. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people that were online that were, kind of clowning them and stuff. That's why I never really got into the no Diddy thing and kind of roasting them and stuff like that. I didn't really do that because this can be, you got to think, that could, the bottom, see, black folks got to understand something real, when white, as Professor Black Truth says, when white supremacists are done with their tools, they break them. I need black folks to understand that. They're done with their tool. They break him. He's broke. They broken him. He's sitting in the Brooklyn detention brigs. They talking about no bail. Yeah, nigga, you got 50 million. We ain't want your money, nigga. We want you in jail. We want you dead. We want you. You're done. That nigga's probably sitting up. You got to think. They talk about Young Thug. Young Thug's a street nigga. Young Thug is not broken. He's probably sad, but he's not broken. He's not thinking about suicide. Young Thug been in there for 3 years. Diddy's probably sitting there thinking like, man, I don't know if I could do another 2 weeks. I wish I had some cheesecake.
They need to have Diddy on Suicide Watch.
Because he don't really know what to do, man. He's like, now I want you to think about this. People keep talking about Sean Poe's wrong. Nigga, Sean Poe was in your position. He's not even in a place that's as dangerous where Sean Poe was at, bro. He was in Dannemora Correctional Facility in New York. I just told you, the guards tell you when you get up there, you in the mountains. You're away from society. It's 8 hours away from New York City. You're literally in mountains. It's so cold up there, they call it Little Siberia.
That's terrible.
The guards tell you, when you show up, we don't care what you do to these other prisoners. You play with our guards up here, they say we will put you in a body bag. You'll never make it home. That's a known thing in Dannemora, New York. It's in a town called Dannemora, New York. I want everybody in the sound of my voice that listens to this. Dannemora, New York. Clinton Correctional Facility. It's a super maximum security system. Pac was up there.
It's called Hell on Earth.
Yeah, that place where he's at ain't nowhere. It ain't nothing like Clinton Correctional. I ain't never been there and I don't plan on it. But it ain't nothing like Clinton Correctional. Them guards will kill you up there. They had Pac up there. They had Old Dirty Bastard up there. They had Bobby Shmurda. You see, when you listen to Bobby Shmurda, you see he ain't talking crazy about that place up there. They straighten him out.
Right. But Diddy's not going to be in general population, is he?
No, he's not. They can't keep him in there because, that's too much of a... But at the same time...
He never talk to anybody?
He talked to the guards well, see, here you got to think about when general population is everybody, but just because you're kept in, solitary confinement, that don't mean that somebody can't open up that gate. Don't never believe that. But they're going to have to keep close watch with him. If something happens to him, somebody did that. That was a concerted effort because they think he was going to tell. Diddy knows too much. He has information. I'm telling y'all, this ain't just a one-on-one operation that he's running. I told y'all in 2002, Arista Records, he went downhill. Do you think they gave him that money for nothing? They probably said, hey, run this prostitution ring, nigga. Do what you're told. Hip-hop, Hollywood, drugs and sex and prostitution goes hand in hand. That's my suspicion. I don't know what y'all think, but hip-hop, prostitution, drugs, music, and Hollywood go hand in hand.
Yeah.
There's drugs. You ain't never seen. Purple drugs. What the fuck is purple cocaine? I ain't never seen no shit like that.
In my life, man.
Who gave it to him? Who gave it to him? You said you sent me some shit. You sent me some shit where they talking about the drug dealer popped into the Hamptons mansion talking about, damn, I'm surprised this nigga's touching on this nigga, and it's a bunch of LGBT rappers. You would never think these niggas be doing this type of shit. I said, whoa, this is the second time I done heard this, bro.
They said Meek Mills.
He didn't mention Meek Mill in the article, but that's been going on, and man,
I've seen him wear matching outfits with Diddy and shit.
Well, that's another thing. Remember we seen it. You know, bro gets loose. When he starts getting drunk, he starts talking crazy. Hey, man, come to my parties. I'll take you shopping. Like, what? Man, nigga, if you call me up, bro, and talking about, hey, man, I'm about to take you shopping. You about to what?
But if you notice at that Drink Champs when he was all fucked up, he didn't try Nori, though.
Or Jada.
No, yeah, he already knows with Jada, he's not going to go there. But with Fabulous, he was all over him.
Man, if you come to my parties, and, Fabulous was kind of trying to...
You don't want to party with me?
Yeah, you don't want to party with me? Fabulous look kind of...
Right now. Fabulous said we're partying right now. He said, no. He said, I mean, really party with me. Fabulous was embarrassed, He didn't know what to say. So, in your opinion, like I was going to ask you, if this situation doesn't happen with Sean Poe, where do you think his career trajectory was going?
Man, Sean Poe sounded a little like Biggie, but Sean Poe had talent. That's why I always like Sean Poe. Even when Sean Poe was in prison, remember he made that album called Buried Alive. He was still going to court and stuff. Diddy wasn't supporting him like he should have. Sean Poe would have been up there. You got to think, Sean Poe had Lil Wayne. He had a lot of people on that record, man. Sean Poe, that Buried Alive, it went gold its first fucking week, I believe.
That was in jail?
Def Jam while he was in jail. And it was a pretty good damn album. He had a couple songs that he had recorded before he went to jail.
Album in jail.
Well, there was one song where you just rap over the microphone and someone record you. It's not hard. Like, the same thing we're doing right now, your voice don't sound as good as mine because I'm on a high-quality microphone, but I got you on the Bluetooth through your cell phone so people can still hear you. So your voice quality is equivalent to like the jail phone, maybe a little better. So you just play a beat and let a nigga spit. Niggas be in jail, they writing lyrics all the time. But if you listen to that Buried Alive, I bought the album. You know I was an avid music collector, bro. I bought the album. There were songs on there that didn't sound like they were just jail songs. Some of them
was his second album, right?
That was his second album. He signed with Def Jam, and you know what New York did? Shout out to the Democrats. They said, you can't take none of this money because it benefited off of crime. Yeah. Wow. There was a law. Let me pull it up. Let me pull the receipts. There was a law that basically said you can't benefit. And see, like, people was trying to clown. It was something on, I think, Adam 22. They were right there. I'm going to defend Shine to a certain degree. Let's get back to the defense of Shine. They were like, oh, why does he sound British or whatever like that? You asked a question earlier. Does my lineage come from, does it mix with any Jamaicans?
You got a heavy accent now, though.
You asked me, does my lineage cross-reference any Jamaicans? No, my lineage is foundational freedman lineage within the past 300 to 400 years here in America. My ancestors is from somewhere in Africa, maybe anywhere between 300 to 500 to 700 years ago. No, they're not Jamaican. You asked me that. Shine is Belize. Shine ain't no foundational. No disrespect. I never looked at him any difference. When I found out he was in Belize, I was young. He's Caribbean. He's from South America.
Belize is what? That's Europe or?
No, Belize is in South America. But remember what I told you before, like when we were talking about Harris and all them, they come from Caribbean backgrounds. Belize, Guyana is in South America, but they have a lot of Caribbean influence. So the people have somewhat of a British accent. Jamaicans, when you hear a Jamaican speak, when you ask a Jamaican, hey, are you black? Some of them might say black. Hey, you African? No, man. I'm Jamaican. I'm trying to do the accent. They ain't gonna say they African. They gonna say they Jamaican. Now, their ancestry is African, but they identify, I believe, with the Brits because that's their accent. If you listen to their accent, I believe it's in the Brits. So Belize, he's from Belizean. That's the Caribbean. So it sounds like it's the British. He's Caribbean. I mean, he's south of. Belize is in South America, okay, but Belize is people have a Caribbean accent. It's in Central America. It's bordered by Mexico to the north and the Caribbean Sea to the east and Guatemala to the west and the south. And it shares water boundaries with the Honduras to the southeast. So, and right here, I'm looking on Wikipedia. Belize is a member of the Caribbean community, CARICOM, and is considered part of the Caribbean region in the historical British West Indies. So a lot of them niggas down there, shout out to our brothers and cousins down there, a lot of them don't come from our lineage, unless you have Caribbean ancestors. They adopt the Brits. West Indies, British West Indies, Cayman Islands, Turk and Caicos, British Virgin Islands, Antigua and Barbados, Bahamas, Dominica, Grenada, Jamaican, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, British Honduras, Trinidad and Tobago, Nicki Minaj. Remember, I think they said she made some slick comments about Rosa Parks. Folks had to check her. Hold on. Respect the freedman lineage. Yeah, they had to get her together. I think she made a little comment or something like that. See, they think from the mindset, yeah, we're Caribbean, but we project power and influence of the British Empire and the Royal Navy. We think we're like them. So they adopt, they're black, but they're like, you know, they adopt the influence of the British. So when you ask them, "Oh, are you African?" They're going to say no. They're going to tell you that I'm Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Just like even with Haitian. Haitians ain't going to say they Jamaicans. They'll let you know quick. You could go to New York. Hey, man, you Jamaican? You call a Haitian Jamaican, there might be a fight. Nigga, I ain't Jamaican.
Under that premise, DP.
Huh?
So then that must mean that you don't have a problem with Kamala Harris not saying she's black. Because I've never heard her say that.
Well, finally she said she's black. They came in, well, because she's been using the black thing, but she's been trying to avoid it. But people been on her ass so much, like, okay, nigga, you don't come from our culture. And we know you don't come from our culture because of the corny little stuff you say and do. But it'd be okay if she just said, hey, look, I'm not a foundational. I never grew up around you niggas, but they're politicians. I don't come from y'all lineage. I don't cook collard greens the way y'all niggas do. We cook them in the bathtub. We'd be like, okay, cool. But I'm going to see if I can help y'all with some reparations, and I ain't talking about no damn study. She'd have my damn vote probably. You'd be like, I don't care where you come from. See, you got to think about it like this. Yo folks is from Eritrea, right? You were born here just like me. Your lineage doesn't come from here. But when I ask you a question like, hey man, do you think that Eritrea should get reparations from whoever messed y'all up? You're not going to say no. You're going to say, hell yeah. Now, you may not know how you go about doing that. And then if you ask me, hey, should Eritrea get reparations from whoever messed them up, the UK or wherever that is? I'm going to be like, hell yeah. And if you ask me, well, DP, do you think you should get reparations from Eritrea? I don't get a fucking dime. Nothing. But I'm on 110% support that those brothers need to get their damn check. Now, I don't know how they're going to go about doing it, but I think they should get it. That's all we need to know. You see what I'm saying? That's codification. That's called being on code. So when you get somebody that says, well, hey, what do you think about this reparations thing? Well, there should be a study and we should look at a lift all boats or whatever. We're like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Where is your people from?
That's the common thread. You know, that's almost like when a politician is asked, how should I answer reparations? That's the stand. Just say that. Say we're going to get a committee. We're looking into getting a committee to look into it. But I got some breaking news about Puffy. Puffy Combs.
Let me look
Puffy
it up.
Combs is on suicide watch. Officially.
I've heard that. And see, and guess what? Now we got to be careful with that too, because they say he's fighting for his life. They said he's fighting for his life. He will stay in jail after jail is placed in suicide watch after being denied bail. Now, I want y'all to understand this too. Even though he did what he did, whatever they say he did what he did, we have to understand how I think in the book called Delectable Negro, they talked about seasoning. This is something that they do to a lot of black celebrities. Remember Michael Jackson? They season them. What DP? Bagland DP. What do you mean by seasoning? They use media words and propaganda to set him up. You got to keep in mind these media outlets, they're no good for us at all. They're just giving us bits and pieces. Once you use the term suicide watch, that goes to show you. Remember when I sent you that video with Trick Daddy said? He said, hey, y'all don't be going to commit suicide now. Stand in your truth, because they didn't let no real niggas in that party. Remember he said that? Remember when I told you about that a couple days ago? Here we go. Now you're already labeling him to be suicide potential. So what happened to Epstein? They put him in the same boat. They said, oh, P. Diddy's a monster. He's just like Epstein. He ain't anywhere close to Epstein. He smacked a few bitches up. He sold a couple motherfuckers. Okay. Epstein been doing it. He been doing that shit with kids on a fucking island. That's why I'm saying I'm really trying to play devil's advocate, bro, because it's like we not gonna do this selective justice shit. If a predator's a predator, a predator's gonna be a predator. But we not about to give Weinstein a $5 million bail and then tell Diddy that ain't killed nobody, he ain't raped nobody, he just sold some hoes and got some baby oil, and you telling me he can't sit up in no Rolls Royce tonight? I'm not gonna do that, bro. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, Diddy, you should have been speaking up on our behalf a long time ago. You should have paid Locks the money. You should have been speaking on reparations. You should have been down with the grassroots before your arrogance set in course. You thought that you were invincible.
You shouldn't have called the witness 54 times.
You shouldn't have called the witness 54 times. This is
lawyers, man. You're tell them don't do that, bro. You know,
don't do that. You're a fucking musical genius. You're a musical mogul genius. Why did you fucking do that? Because you thought you were invincible.
The judge kept bringing it up, and the thing is his lawyers didn't have an answer to that. When the judge kept saying, why was this woman called 54 times? No, and you know who his lead attorney is, right?
Who?
You know Mark Garagos?
No, I don't know.
It's his daughter. Mark Garagos is he kind of was one of the guys that took over after Cochran. A lot of the black
okay, I see.
Michael Jackson, Meek Mill. He was Meek Mill's attorney. Garagos.
Wow.
This is his daughter, Tina Garagos. She was the one that said, Diddy might have an abnormal sexual lifestyle, but he didn't do any crimes. His lawyer was adamant that Diddy did nothing wrong.
Back to Shine for 2 seconds and we'll bring it right back. Just hold me. Bring it right back. When you said, well, Shine did time. Shine was smart. Like, okay, I can't trust this nigga. But, Diddy wanted to have a little bit of PR that was good. Remember, he came out years ago. A lot of people don't remember this, but Shine was kind of in the religious thing, going to, the Jewish stuff and all that. And he went to Israel for a little while and hung out after he got out of jail. And then he went back to Belize because his people are politically tied up down there. He probably said, all right, I can't trust this nigga, but if he wants to use me as PR, let me do this little bullshit ass song. Whoa, something. And he said, all right, I'm going to have this nigga give me some money so I can help out my folks in Belize. That was a chess move. So people saying, well, Shine is throwing him under the bus. And his accent, he's from Belize.
That's but he didn't have that accent back in the day.
No, but he's been in Belize a long time. That's his original accent. Because when I heard it, they like, oh, it sounds British. They're from the Caribbean. They adopt the Caribbean. They adopt the West Indies British accent. It sounds kind of British, but it got like when you like, oh, he sounds Jamaican. That's how they sound.
Called Old English.
Right. So that's how the Caribbean sounds. That's how the Caribbean sounds.
Is he deported from America?
Yes.
Or is this a choice not
that
to come
nigga
here?
was an illegal alien, bro. That nigga was when they said he shot them motherfuckers in that club, that nigga wasn't even supposed to be here. That nigga was.
So what did he go to jail for 9 years for? What is the charge?
The charge is for shooting that woman in the face that he didn't shoot, you say.
The same woman that said she saw Diddy shoot her.
Absolutely. Diddy probably told Shine, do this time. I'm gonna get you some money on your books. And I can't do time. J-Lo said, all right, nigga, you niggas is some... I thought y'all was bad, but y'all bad boys for real. I'm going to move around. And she stopped fucking with that.
J-Lo left him over this, right?
You said what?
J-Lo left him over this.
Hell yeah. Because she didn't... You got to think. She wanted the... She wanted the black... Oh, well, not just black, but, this is P. Diddy. This ain't no smoozing, this ain't no lame ass nigga that you just find, down the street. This is somebody in New York. But you getting into shootouts. Y'all bad boy, y'all streets, always street. That's on the record, but this ain't good for business. She ain't stupid. She's like, okay, hell no. So now she ain't gonna stick around. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna stick around to that nigga. You put me in danger. Because see, now you got me involved in this nigga shit.
Right.
I'm Jenny from the block. See, she ain't no real Puerto Rican, no real Jenny from the block. She ain't like Big Pun and them and stuff. She's like, oh, I'm Jenny from the block. They exposed her too. She ain't Jenny from the block. She came up with a good Catholic home and all this shit. Yeah, but she does movies.
Right now, but you see the Puerto Rican. There's a Puerto Rican police that's in charge of the hip hop and rap gang division.
Hip hop police.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know who he is, but the hip hop police is something.
Yeah, on YouTube. So this guy, he said he was in the jail station when all that went down. He said J-Lo's mom came to the jail station and started yelling at her in Mexican, or Spanish, and told her, "I told you not to fuck with that nigger."
Yeah. Yes. That's they get down. See, okay, now thank you for fuck. Thank you for saying that. Because when you said, I told you not to fuck with that nigger, you didn't say nigga, you said it with the ER.
Because she said it in Spanish.
But she said it in Spanish. You know what she said in Spanish? Mayate. Mayate. Yeah. She said it in Spanish.
The police, he heard her. He knew what she said.
I don't fuck with that mayate.
Right.
All right, so
said, I told you, don't fuck with that nigga.
So what you're saying is further proof. It's something that they don't really talk about it now because, you know, the freedmen had already broke it down. That whole little Jamaican and Puerto Rican thing, oh, we created hip hop and all that. No. Back in them early days in them 70s, and I could show you some pictures too, there was Puerto Ricans that would get chastised for going around amongst the black folks when hip-hop was starting in some of the music. Why? Hey, why you dealing with the mayates? See?
Yeah.
Now, her mother said that. Her mother's from New York. Mayate.
Tommy Davis going to tell you that. They said, damn, I don't even speak to them no more.
That's what I'm saying, bro. A lot of them have that same, you know, so this shit get deep. Think about it.
To put a ribbon on the Sean Poe thing. What you're saying is he knew Diddy did him fucked up.
Yeah.
But he needed the help when he got out, so he just took the help from him.
You got to think, man. I'm Sean Poe. I came to the U.S. when I was 7, a legal alien. I ain't even supposed to be here. And then, he's probably laying low doing whatever he's doing. Somebody hear him rapping him. That's how he got on. Hear him rapping in a barbershop. Somebody probably heard him. It might have been one of the hit makers or whatever. One of the hit men. Hey, I think Diddy would like this. They, send him over. Hey, send him to Diddy.
The question I have is, where would his career have gone if that night never happened?
He would have keep going up, man. He probably would have been working with the same people that were, a lot of people love that record. That record was a good record. He had a lot of cuts on there.
He'd have been a platinum artist.
Man, hell yeah, man. The Shine was a gold record. When that
he would have been one of the top rappers of that time frame.
Maybe not the top, but what I'm saying is, I want you to think about this. This is why I keep bringing up a lot of these timelines. I look at things from a very historical standpoint. Now, what year did Shine come out?
Is it not 202?
No. September 26, 2000. Because remember we were listen, that record it was just called Shine. That record came out. It was recorded in 99, 2000. Daddy's House Recording Studios. Daddy's House. Very interesting. Anyway, that, and then remember, he had the intro, Dear America. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Neptunes,
I don't remember that.
The Neptunes made beats on there. Mario Winans, Dear America. Dear America.
What about Barrington Levy?
Barrington Levy. Now I used to want to see. I didn't know. See, this is the thing, bro. I didn't really know Barrington Levy was. I mean, I could tell. I thought he was Jamaican, but that's a Caribbean accent. There's different islands down there. They all sound similar. There might be different variations, but they sound similar. Like a Caribbean person could talk. I wouldn't know because I'm not Caribbean. But a Caribbean person could talk and might be from different islands. You got like Nicki Minaj and them from Trinidad. You got Shine from Belize. That's in South America. Belize is in South America, but it's still considered to be a Caribbean region. The style and the culture is Caribbean. If they went around each other and started talking, they would probably tell us, oh yeah, are you from Barbados? Is you from Grenada? You know, are you from me and you wouldn't know because we're not from there. We're not from that culture. We haven't been around enough Caribbean people to know that there's certain distinctions. Whereas me being a black American, if a black person, foundational black Americans are the same no matter what region. We might speak different, but I could tell, like when I listen to a nigga from Chicago, I don't have to really know him very well. I can listen to him talk. You from Chicago? Yeah, Joe, I'm from Chicago. Okay, then I could hear a nigga from LA. Are you from California? Yeah, I'm from California. Then I could hear somebody from Maryland. They'd be like, they'll say, I can't do the Maryland accent, but I don't know, I can't do the Maryland accent, but I can tell they're black American, but I know they're from a different region. It doesn't matter what region we come from. We all share the same, we typically share the same ideologies. We can remember that our grandma didn't cook no motherfucking collard greens in a bathtub. That's nationwide. None of us have done that. But what I'm saying is
that what Kamala said?
Yeah, so she's not used to our culture, so she has to just listen to videos and watch A Different World or whoever her little consultants tell her to do to try to make us, to make it look good. She got to pander. But we're not familiar with that because we've never seen it. I just asked I had my cousins from Atlanta come in, and I asked my grandma, she's 94 years old. I said, Grandma, have you ever cooked collard greens in the bathtub? She looked kind of offended. She was like, no. She kind of scrunched up her face like, what? She had to ask me, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, Kamala Harris says that. She's like, oh, okay. Now, she's a supporter of her because she doesn't like Trump. I get it. I understand. I get her generation. Most of them kind of think that way. But she's never cooked greens in a bathtub. So when I asked her that, she was kind of offended that I even asked her that because she didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. She doesn't come from that culture. So my
narrative was, making collard greens for a lot of people.
Yeah, but you're not going to put it in a place where you wash your ass. That now and then let me tell you, no disrespect, but in India, damn it, they do that. They will put their feet. Yes, they will put their feet, and I've seen some shit where that's their culture. They put I've seen in street, they will put their feet in food.
Think, man, I cannot, and I am not trying to be like that, but I cannot date women from that region, man.
Well, they put their feet in the food and they might mix it up in certain places. I don't think that's everywhere, but what I'm saying is that there's videos of it. So what I'm saying is you've had other black people that are probably not foundational black Americans that basically said, hey, watch A Different World or Martin or anything. And see, the thing is, with us being black folk, black Americans, we know that me and you don't come from the same lineage, but that shit ain't right. You be like, okay, I've been to your house, bro, in the not D building, but I've never seen your mother cook no fucking greens in no bathtub. Never.
I've never seen anybody cook anything in a bathtub.
I've never seen anybody put greens in the bathtub. I've never seen anybody ever do that. So when she said that,
in the bathtub, period.
Never. So,
I mean, maybe she was confused. She could have misspoke.
No. We're not gonna do. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. She didn't misspoke. You're trolling.
Now, hold on. I need you, DP, to tell your viewers. Need you to give your viewers a very good idea of what does it mean when an inmate is on suicide watch.
Suicide watch. Now, first of all, when it comes to the media, when I talked about the seasoning, you're seasoning this brother kind of like with Michael Jackson. Well, yeah, he did this, he did that, whatever the case may be. We can already set him up. Because see now, what does suicide watch sound like to you? Let me ask you that. When you hear the word suicide, what does that mean to you?
They're keeping an extra eye on you to make sure you don't kill yourself.
Okay, that's suicide watch. But what does the word suicide? When you hear the word suicide, what does that mean?
Kill yourself.
All right, so you take your own life. All right, so now a person has to ask a question. Why would you take your own life? Why are you under that kind of duress? Is somebody pressuring you under that duress where you can't take it? Are you not accountable? Are you not accountable enough for your own actions where you don't feel you're fit to live?
Yeah. Fuck that shit. Diddy's not doing it, man.
All right,
Diddy's
so now, so now, if I tell the public that you were on suicide watch, that might mean somebody might do something to you.
And also, it's also in a admission of guilt.
That too. Oh, I'm not accountable. I want to take my life so I don't have to face accountability.
Yeah, and I know I'm guilty. I know I ain't getting out. And the thing is, the feds, a lot of people, they just think they just kind of, feds, man, they're very crafty as well. They cheat. They have tactics they use too. They want to win the public perception.
Right. So the fact that they put you on suicide watch, they had that media come out as a dog whistle to say he's not fit to live. Let's do him like Epstein.
That couldn't be a lie. Diddy might not even be on suicide watch.
Man, he's not on no fucking suicide watch. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They said the same thing about Epstein.
Epstein was killed before he released his info.
Right, but they said he was on suicide watch, and they're now comparing. They're now.
Well, you know what? Diddy, if everything we're hearing is true, and there's some major people on these tapes, and I'm hearing the Clintons are involved. Hey, he might have to come up missing.
You asked a question. You asked a good question earlier. Why would you keep all the tapes? Because he's not stupid. He has some powerful people on them damn tapes, and he said, I got proof. You gonna burn me, I'm gonna burn you. So the feds were sent in to take the tapes. Right?
So what is it? Repeat that. What did you say at the end?
You said they got 500 hours of tapes. That nigga ain't got 500 hours of himself. What nigga got 500 hours of himself? Nigga, I got tapes on you, me, your mama, your grandmama, your daughter, your goldfish, your Portuguese man of war, your tarantula, your burrito.
Because how is he going to say, I'm not having free calls, I'm not flying girls in when it's all recorded?
Hey, I might get down with that. You might indict me for that, but guess what? You think you gonna burn me? I'm gonna take everybody. All of you go down. I'm bringing the whole industry down. 500 hours. Man, I got 200 niggas on these tapes. They rented hotels. Why didn't niggas do it in this house?
Right.
1,000 bottles of baby oil. That wasn't just, man, you'd be surprised. I believe that article you sent me with that drug dealer. He just, like he said, he don't want to name no names because he don't want to end up in the river himself. Man,
he was surprised by who he's seen in the room.
Like I say, bro, it's probably some niggas where when we find out, it's gonna come out in 6 months. Watch.
I bet you Young Thug was in there.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's older. The people that hang out with Diddy probably are a little older. It's some rappers and some people to where when we hear who it is, you and I gonna be like, okay, we done. I'm burning this shit. Like, yeah,
I think we can already confirm one. The hit maker Stevie J. We already know he was there. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, he's got to be there. He's got to be there because the thing is Stevie, because Stevie knows. We're just speculating off the evidence. So what I'm saying is Stevie knows him, and they've said weird stuff about him too. But
what did Lil Rod say in the lawsuit? He said when Diddy was trying to coerce him to freak off, he showed him a fuck movie and he told him that's Stevie J right there in the fuck movie. He's like, so and the kid wanted to be a producer and he looked up to Stevie J, the hit maker.
Oh.
So Diddy was trying to tell him, you can freak off with me because look at Stevie J's on this fuck movie. So he's a punk too, so it's okay.
Yeah, so he basically, this is what he's doing. You got to think, and that's why the Locks. He had such an issue with the Locks because the Locks was like, look, nigga, we ain't no punks, we some street niggas. Nigga, we'll beat the fuck out you. Give us out our contract. So that nigga naturally got scared. Probably called up Gene. Hey man, they threatening me and all this, and he started talking tough and all this kind of stuff. And they like, nigga, don't talk tough. Nigga, we'll slap the shit out you. But if I slap the shit out you, you probably sue. If I slap,
don't try to talk tough on the radio like you're a tough guy.
If you slap,
you get close to you.
If I slap the shit out of you, you probably sue.
Talk on the radio. Y'all need to come to my office if y'all want to talk. Why y'all trying to talk tough on the radio? And Jada Kid said, man, don't try to act like you're a tough guy.
Yeah, don't try to act like you're no tough guy. You gotta think.
We can't get close to you.
We can't get close to you. See, because the thing is, if we get close to you, you're going to call the police, you're going to call your bodyguard.
At that point in time, you wasn't rolling up on Diddy. And if you notice the guys that he would beat up, look who he beat up.
Steve
Styles.
Drake.
Come on.
What do you mean Drake?
He beat Buddy Drake up too.
What?
Yeah. Drake, that's very documented. Drake got it. Drake got the 2 piece.
He gave the 3 piece of the sweet song. That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Drake was supposed to ghostwrite for him, and then Drake ended up taking the beat for himself. The 0 to 100, that beat.
Oh, for real?
That song is supposed to be for Diddy, and Drake was supposed to write Diddy's verse. Drake heard the beat. This I'll just take that beat for me.
That's how I couldn't be in this industry like that, bro. Because you know me, bro. Like you know me since kids. You know I'm not gonna let no nigga beat me up. I'll be done beat Diddy up. Gene and the bodyguards probably better kill me.
Diddy seen him at the club and told him to come outside. They just gave him a 2 piece real quick. J. Cole got it too. J. Cole got hands.
I couldn't do it, bro.
He had the buddy of J. Cole. He had the buddy, yeah. So just think about
J. Cole. It, though. What happened to J. Cole?
Yeah. J. Cole just got to run in his mouth.
Yeah,
J. Cole's beef has something to do with King Cole.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine me releasing? Okay, all right. We know Minnesota, only gets to maybe a certain point or whatnot, right? Can you imagine a DP the Groundhog getting a flight out to Bad Boy, and this nigga telling me some shit like that, bro? Telling me something crazy. Can you imagine me calling you and telling you, huh?
But Drake stole his beat.
No, I'm just saying, bro. Like, no, just picture me as Drake. Can you imagine a nigga coming up to me talking about, well, yeah, man, you need to come to my party and we need to do this little weird shit or whatever? I would have fired on that nigga.
So you're telling me if you were on Drink Champs that day and you were fabulous, you would have fired on them?
Well, what I would have told, if he would have said something about my parties and he would have made it, if it would have been like funny style and I would have known, because I wouldn't have known because it
was funny style.
It was funny style with him being that persistent. But like I say, I don't see, they know him. I don't, bro. But if I would have been on the show and he was like, man, come to my party, I'd be like, well, maybe I'll slide through or whatever. But he said, no, man, come to my party. I want just me and you. I was like, nigga, I ain't coming to your fucking party. And if the nigga would have said
why don't you party with me?
If you party with me, I would have told that nigga one more time, bro. I said, bro, I'm not partying with you, bro. And if he would have said anything else, I would have stole on that nigga, bro.
On Drink Champs.
On Drink Champs. I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying, bro. I couldn't be in that industry like that, because now I feel like you trying me because you got power. You might try to get some bodyguards to grab me or some weird shit. Nigga, I'm firing on you on Drink Champs. I would have been the nigga known for firing on Diddy.
What about the guy the other guy, if you noticed, there was like a cameraman or something on that episode. He told him, come here. And then he started looking at the cameraman, was wearing pants. He's like, oh, I like that, Playboy. I like that rough style right there, Playboy.
No. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I say.
See, Charlamagne has been calling Diddy out. He called Diddy out to his face.
Charlamagne is a simp. I don't like Charlamagne. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like Charlamagne, bro. Because he let Joe Biden tell us we ain't black.
Hey, Larry Elder gave it to him. I know you don't like Larry Elder, but
Larry Elder. You know what? Larry Elder's a coon, but I think he has a little bit more. Larry Elder, as big as a Sambo as he is, Larry Elder has more honesty. He has. I give him more respect than Charlamagne. You know why?
What?
Because Elder is like he's kind of like Jesse Lee Peterson. He's kind of like a self-propelled coon. Like, he doesn't really hide it. Yeah. Larry Elder will tell you, man, ain't no racism.
Yeah. I don't agree with all that.
Yeah, Larry Elder will tell you that.
Charlamagne said, have you ever had a nigga wake up moment? And he said, Charlamagne, I'm very aware that I'm black. But when Joe Biden looked you in the face and told you if you ain't black, you don't vote for me, I think that was your nigga wake up moment.
Yeah.
And you didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing.
I give Larry Elder the utmost respect for that, bro. Because
his answer was, though? His answer was, I'm not gonna let Joe Biden bother me, just like I'm not gonna let you bother me.
Wow, that's some bullshit, nigga. You know what? That's like, do you remember that back in the day when they tell Charlamagne, give me a drop, and niggas stole on Charlamagne, and that nigga started running.
That's Lil' Kim. That was Lil' Kim's people. Yeah, Lil' Kim's people. What about when Fredro Starr checked him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. You ain't, bro. You. Okay, I'm not trying to be all, I'm just saying, you seen me in action, bro. You seen when niggas got out of line with me, I had to tighten niggas up. I'm not letting no nigga hit me and I run the other direction. That's not happening, bro.
There's nothing Drake could do. What could he do? Actually,
you take the L. You take win, lose or draw. Win, lose or draw. You take the L. You fight.
He just took that good 2-piece.
No, man, you fight back.
Puffy was so happy with him.
Man, you fight back, bro. You fight back every time.
But Puffy, they squashed it where when Diddy and his sons had a Facebook Live, Drake came on there. So they squashed it. The J. Cole situation, I heard he cut J. Cole. Now there's also the football coach and the college football coach who claims that Diddy threw a 20-pound dumbbell at him.
Oh, hell. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if that's true, and a dumbbell, that's like shooting somebody, bro.
That white man just came on Jason Whitlock, and he said he'll testify to anything. Diddy told him, I'll fuck you up. Because the football coach had said something slick to his son.
You don't throw
son.
You don't throw no dumbbell at nobody, bro. Okay, look, if you gonna throw a dumbbell at somebody, then you do that, man. That's like prison shit, bro. Like, that's like some shit you do on the yard or something, man. Like,
well, now even Gene Deal said that. He said Diddy's good with his hands now.
Listen to me. He's good with his hands, nigga. If they say he's on suicide watch, they probably say that. They might say that because they're seasoning him. They're getting him ready for propaganda. He may not be on. Hell yeah, yep. I think they will if he don't play ball. If he goes along and takes these charges and don't say nothing, yes. But he knows to. Bro, I'm telling you, they don't have those tapes for no reason. There's a reason why they got those tapes. Those tapes ain't get Diddy on them tapes. That shit got all kind of folk on them tapes. But best believe that. The feds do not spend money on bullshit, bro.
Oh, no, the feds they're not in the business of wasting time.
But if he threw a dumbbell, you know what? He ain't got no hands. I just thought about it. He ain't got no hands. Because if I got hands, I ain't throwing no dumbbell at you.
Well, as a football coach, is probably bigger than him.
That don't matter. That don't matter, bro. That don't matter. You got hands.
You know he adopted Albie Shore's son.
Yeah, man. That don't matter, bro. Just because you bigger, you got hands. Because I'm saying just because you're bigger, that don't mean anything.
He beat up. He beat up Steve Stout. He beat up Drake.
He didn't beat up the Locks. He didn't beat up the Locks. Why?
He didn't even try the Locks. Any member of the Locks, even Jadakiss, is not that tall. He wouldn't have tried Jadakiss either.
All right, why didn't he try Jadakiss?
You know better. He never tried Black Rob either.
He ain't tried none of them. You know why? Because they would have beat the shit out that nigga. That's why. So what I'm saying to you is, if you got to grab a dumbbell, that means you ain't got no hands. Because a dumbbell, you know how I know that's cap? Because, or when you say he got hands, I know that's cap. Because a dumbbell could have killed that man. That man would have been in prison if that dumbbell would have touched him. He didn't pick up the dumbbell. He didn't hit him with the dumbbell. If he would have hit him with the dumbbell, bro, that man would be in prison to this day. He wouldn't have been able to beat that case. He wouldn't have been able to beat that case with a dumbbell, bro, because general society is going to say this. You could have hit him with your hand before anything, before you pick up a dumbbell. 25-pound dumbbell, you could crush that man's skull.
I think he paid him. He might have paid the coach off.
Yeah, of course he paid him.
I just sent you the article talking about it. It's from 2015.
I almost forgot about it.
It's Albie Shore's son, though, that had the problem with the coach. You know, he adopted Albie. I don't know how Albie Shore let somebody adopt his son. You know, I don't know what's going on with that, but
Deion Sanders, shout out to that brother. Okay, let's look at this arrest on the Bleacher Report. UCLA. Deion. Yeah. Shout out to Coach Prime, man. They hating on Coach Prime. What's up with Coach Prime? They bothering Coach Prime?
Yeah, his son, it just got sued.
For
Shiloh. What? Well, his senior year of high school, he beat up the security guard at the high school.
Was he a race soldier?
No, he black. He beat him up. And now, you know, the college kids, they get checks, you know, to play in college ball. So Shiloh's been making a lot of money.
Good.
So the man sued him. And Shiloh just filed bankruptcy. And then Whitlock has been going after Deion a lot lately.
Whitlock has been cooning a long time. Who pays Jason Whitlock?
Well, Whitlock's been fired, man, from a lot of places now.
He sounds like a nigga.
Whitlock's been fired, but Whitlock's been fired from the backlash from cooning.
Fired from who?
Whitlock, he ain't gonna go on Fox News or anything like that. He's cooning on platforms where they didn't want to be associated with that. You know, like ESPN. One thing about ESPN is they would prefer that their analysts just talk about sports.
Right. Yeah.
True. Know what I mean? It's a sports show, sports channel. They don't want you talking about political shit because people might turn it off. You know, Michael Jordan had the famous line, "Republicans buy sneakers too."
No,
when they asked him to stand up for Obama, campaign for Obama, he said, "Hey, Republicans buy sneakers too. They ain't getting involved in that shit."
You know what? He was right about that. He was damn right about that. He was right about that.
So ESPN looks at it the same way. But see, Whitlock was one of the first people who seen, wait a minute, I can get on TV and really make some money. Now I just go against every black. Every famous black, he just goes against him. He says, okay, Deion is in the news right now, I'm gonna go against him. The only one that I thought was funny is when he went at Stephen A. That's just too cool, because Stephen A., his whole book was nothing but lies, saying he was good friends with Run DMC growing up and this and that. Oh, Whitlock chopped all that up. But in the same token, Whitlock been fired from ESPN, Fox Sports. Now he's on something called The Blaze. That's I don't know, some YouTube shit. They just kind of gave him his own thing. 'Cause Whitlock is a real coon.
Right.
Whitlock's daddy was a pimp in Indiana. Like Whitlock's dad put in work, but I don't think he liked his dad or something. You know what I mean? Because like Whitlock's dad is known for putting in work, and that's why a lot of people in Whitlock's family was real surprised by that. But I think he just seen it like, wait a minute, I go against blacks, and that's all right. I'll make my money. So he go at Dion every day. And what Dion did now, Dion telling certain reporters that are writing bad articles about his team, he's shutting them down.
So this nigga, okay, I'm looking to do, okay, he's a sports columnist, podcaster, and former football player. They say he hosts a program for conservative media company. He's a former columnist at the Kansas City Star, AOL Sports, Fox Sports, ESPN. He was a radio personality for WHB in the Kansas City. So this nigga was a reporter. He was a football player. So when did his cooning really, really start?
I would say I've been familiar with Whitlock since about 93.
Okay.
Whitlock, in my opinion, was one of the best sports commentators there was. He never talked about race. I would say when Obama got in office, he seen that like, all right, everybody's going for this guy. I'm just going to get him.
I think I figured it out.
Yeah.
Blaze Media is an American conservative media company founded by Glenn Beck. There we go.
Yeah. Glenn Beck Glenn Beck is bomb.
Look, here we go. They got Glenn Beck. He's tied in with these race soldiers like Stu Bergier, the Glenn Buck radio program. Let me see, Kevin Freenham,
there's another guy.
Liz Wheeler, Sarah Gonzalez, Mark Levin.
That guy, Mark Levin.
Dave Rubin, Matt Keeby.
All Jews.
Jason Whitlock, Alan Syme, Ben Shapiro's a frequent guest. All Bill O'Reilly, yes. So the whole conservative race soldier stuff. Remember what I was telling you before when you were like, "Well, Ben Shapiro ain't no race soldier." I said, "Listen, bro, the Daily Wire and all of that, and Candace, they'll hire Negroes to use a lot of their conservative talking points. So when they start, if you say, well, hey, they're racist, they'll be like, well, wait a minute, I didn't say that. Candace said that." So the Daily Wire is pretty much, Turning Point USA, all of those. Daniel Lappin, frequent guest is Ben Shapiro. I would get on the show if he asked me, I'd go on the show. I would tell him though. I said, I think you're a race soldier. I would tell him, and you know why? Because if you ask him about stuff like, oh well, hey, what you think about Breonna Taylor? What you think about George Floyd or whatever? He's like, oh, that should have happened. The police were right. That's the position they take. And then what they'll do is this is what they do. This is what the Republicans and Democrats do. Shapiro will say, well, hey, the 94 crime bill, that's what Joe Biden, that's what Joe Biden, he hates blacks. I don't hate blacks. I never said the N-word before. He'll say something like that. Then you'll be like, hey, Ben, what you think about reparations? That was 1866 Indian law, Dawes Act, blah, 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 blah. Then he'll turn around and say something like, hey, that's old. You should ask Obama. We shouldn't pay you reparations. My parents didn't own any slaves. And that's what Shapiro will say.
You agree with Ben Shapiro's criticism of Kamala Harris?
I can't deny that.
Yeah, I've heard you.
Yeah, I can't deny that, but there's a lot of people that have that same, that opinion.
He has absolutely no time for Kamala Harris at all.
There's nothing. Here's the thing. There's nothing that she has done to help black society. Not one. Now, if she did, I would give her credit. I will. But she hasn't. She hasn't done anything. Not one single solitary thing that she is. She doesn't. Not even done things by action, bro. But she doesn't even speak on our behalf. They got Bill O'Reilly. They got Kirk Cameron.
There's
let me see.
that comes on there.
There's
Steve
Ben
Chen.
Prager, Dennis Prager, the founder of PragerU. Now, Prager, this dude's 76 years old. He's a conservative radio talk host. Basically, when you look at Prager's one of them ones where it's basically like an online school, but they'll show some shit like, oh, well, they weren't slaves. They just came over here from Africa as workers. And you're like, oh, hold on, nigga. That's how PragerU is. Yeah, they'll do some stuff like they'll show something like Ida B. Wells, and they'll show some. It'll be real janky. Like I'll send it to you one day, but it's real janky where you're like, okay, it didn't get into the PragerU. I think is one of those sites that Ron DeSantis is for. Like, oh well, let's not talk about racism and slavery. That's gonna make white kids feel bad and stuff like that. And see, that's what race soldiers do a lot of times, bro. Is what they'll do is hiding history and denying it. When their children start asking, like, well, damn, what happened to Floyd? Or, what happened to Breonna Taylor? Or what happened to Trayvon? Like, why is that happening? The parents will say, oh, well, that's those blacks. They just want, they just want some free money and this, that, and the third. They may not say nothing about the illegals. They might, but they won't say nothing about them. And then they'll turn around and say, oh, well, they just want a free check and they want this and reparations is old. And so the kids, what they'll do is they'll ask questions and say, well, what about slavery? And then what their parents will say? We don't talk about that.
Yeah, nobody wants to tell them themselves.
So now the kids are like, some of them may think why, or they may just go along with it and be like, oh, okay, Dad says we don't talk about it, so it doesn't get discussed. So
whites do. What did Mr. Passar do? It's them. They always say it's like whites will say we're whites. Those were the Europeans. At that point, whites would. The only time you'll ever hear whites decipher between themselves and Europeans in Western Europe is when they talk about slavery. White Americans will say that was them in Europe that was doing all that. That ain't us. Mr. Passar never told you my people enslaved yours.
No, he didn't.
He never talked like that. He said they did it. You know what I'm saying?
They
did it. They did it.
It has nothing to do with us, and they come from the perspective as if they didn't benefit. Mr. Passar benefited.
No white man should ever teach, not just white, no other race should teach the history of another race. And white people have no blacks should be teaching Mexicans about Mexican history, which you never see. The only race that's allowed to teach other race history is white. Where's there a black teacher teaching Mexican history? You don't see no shit like that.
Never.
Where's there a Mexican teaching black history?
Never.
They wouldn't allow. But whites, the ultimate, whites who have their hand in a cookie jar, who have screwed over every race in America or in the world, so they get to tell the history. And then guess what? Little Jimmy grows up and, oh, man, I don't want to give out no reparations. That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that shit. It's just a pattern. I don't think so. I don't want if I have kids, I don't want nobody white or anybody teaching them world history. Because, you're not, guess what? Diddy's not going to tell you. There's a whole lot of criminals in prison. They ain't going to tell you how they did it.
No, they're not.
It wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to play something for you real quick. You're going to be, now we always talked about Dynamite. We always talked about J.J. Evans.
Yeah, what's he up to now?
J.J. Evans, let me see if my sound.
Yeah.
Pure Dynamite. Listen to this.
Well, I write about this a little bit in my book, Mugged, about racial demagoguery, and also in Adios America about immigration. And that is, the important point he should have made is that the entire purpose of affirmative action, set-asides, civil rights laws that limit constitutional rights to freedom of contract, freedom of association, all of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, you've taken away the whole purpose of this. And that is exactly what's happened once we got this huge load of immigrants. Now, a Thai who arrived on Wednesday will get an advantage applying to college, applying to corporations, over a heterosexual white male in particular. That's the biggest hate group. But
now you've seen how she did that.
Pure dynamite!
Ann Coulter has really been rallying the reparations thing since she's been hanging around J.J. Evans.
Yeah, he hit her.
Do you believe that? Do you believe he's been hitting Ann Coulter? They say that they haven't.
Yeah, it's a guarantee they've been dating. I don't know if they still are, but they was at one time. That's for sure.
Because at one point she was talking this. Cause see, okay, keep in mind, y'all. I want my listeners to understand this.
Ann Coulter was one of the most. Ann Coulter was so racist.
She was one of the most anti-black people in the country.
Yeah,
but she
did a character named Zeb Coulter as a mocking of her. You know what I mean? Her racism was, hey, but guess what? That black dick J.J. Evans piped her down.
What did J.J. Evans do? Because the last few years, she's been stomping for reparations harder than the Democrats. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You know what she was doing right there? All she was doing right there, realistically, was she was trying to get foundationals to support her cause of getting migrants out of here. Because her thing is that money's supposed to be going to y'all. That's what she just said, right?
And she said, look what she said about white men. Let's play this back. She said, this is a 3-car Marley right here. This is a 3-car Marley right here. Check this out.
Applying to college, applying to corporate. This huge load of immigrants. Now, a Thai who arrived on Wednesday will get an advantage applying to college, applying to corporations, over a heterosexual white male in particular. That's the
heterosexual white male in particular.
Biggest hate group. But any white American. And all of the civil rights laws have been, and affirmative action and so on, have been twisted into just anti-white hatred.
So she went from foundational black American to anti-white hatred.
And open, egregious discrimination. So to make the point that Kamala isn't a foundational black American. I'm always pointing out to black people, hey, have you noticed Indians are getting all the good diversity jobs? What did we do to Indians? We didn't pure dynamite!
Yeah, she's very, what she's trying to say is foundationals. Y'all should be just as mad as me. Because white people, man, they're pissed about this shit. Y'all brought in all these migrants, 8 million fucking migrants and more coming, just so y'all can win an election? How Americans are sitting here allowing this shit to happen? These motherfuckers brought 8 million migrants over here and some more coming.
Well,
under the premise that we need you to vote Democrat. Come on, that's the only way you can win an election. You have to take people that aren't from this country, bypass all the rules and laws for people to become American citizens, and you're just going to give them citizenships and allow them to vote.
Well, and they work together. The Democrats are like, okay, you niggas ain't going to vote. Right now, they're having some major problems, bro. I don't know if you know or not, but Harris is having some major issues right now where she's just recently she's been trying to convince. Because now they've been hearing, a lot of black men have been like, look, man, I'm good. I'm just fucking good. And, listen to this right here. I want you to listen to this right here. Now, they making up a bunch of excuses. I'm going to break it down. It's really fucking pathetic. And it's irritating to me and it's disrespectful. Rather than just getting to the damn point. They got this Sambo-ass mayor.
The NAACP released a poll on Friday that showed while black Americans overwhelmingly identify as Democrats, over 1/4 of black men under 50 said they would support the Republican candidate in this year's election. Why do you think that younger male black voters are changing their association like this?
I think there's especially for younger black men, there is a frustration. But it's not necessarily frustration with Vice President Harris, and it's not even frustration with the Democratic Party.
It is frustration with the Democratic Party because black folks been voting for these motherfuckers for over 100 years, and they haven't given us nothing. And they shame us when we say, hey, look, Couch 2024. They say, oh, well, that's a vote for the Republicans. We don't give a damn. You're not going to force us and shame us to vote just because you think we're supposed to be scared of the boogeyman. They try to pull that with Diddy. Remember that comment? I'm so glad you sent me that video because I forgot all about that. What people don't here's another thing about Diddy. I'm going to give him credit where credit is due, but I think he should have did it earlier. Diddy said, I'm going to hold the vote. Now, people thought, well, that's because Diddy's vote. No. Diddy was going to start getting brothers together to say, hey, look, fuck those folks. If you're not going to give us nothing specifically to our vote, oh, no, you get nothing. Couch. We ain't getting nothing anyway, so couch. We'll do couch. So that scared people. That's why in the comments you heard a whole bunch of saying, oh, Lord, what's niggas going to do with Trump getting office? Now, now remember what I told you before, bro. A lot of people that were making a lot of those jokes online, you see, I ain't posting nothing. I ain't make no Diddy jokes. There's a lot of young black men, or not even young, I'm just going to say, there's a lot of black men that be on there posting, and I'm going to say something that's probably going to make a lot of people unsubscribe from me as well. But this is something I kind of been thinking about and how I'm going to say it, but I'm just going to go ahead and, say it. You got a lot of niggas that ain't never touched 100 in their fucking life.
I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin.
They listen to niggas like that. They've never really touched 100 in a year or seen it. So when they see another young black man or they see another black man that might have touched 100 to some tickets, they don't really know how to react. And what I'm saying is, and you know this as much as I know, this hasn't been my best year. I'm just going to be honest. You know that personally. I'm not going to get into detail. This hasn't been my best year. But you and I both know we're cut from a certain cloth that when we start hearing non-confident grown-ass men talking, we don't identify with that. We don't identify with hearing a bunch of excuses. We don't identify with hearing grown men, especially brothers. White folks, they got it all as far as we concerned. They got it going. I'm talking about our folks. We don't identify with black men that don't have shit to offer. You should be somebody of consequence. You should be somebody that when people call you up, you have answers and that you're going somewhere and that you're moving somewhere. You shouldn't be sitting up here talking about what you can't do and you're not able to do something and oh, woe is me and oh, I'm on suicide watch. We don't have no damn use for you.
Pure dynamite! African Americans built this nation.
Do I gotta remind them?
You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for it.
We don't really subscribe to other men, to other black men. When we talk to a brother, and every time you talk to that brother, he don't never got no answers. He don't have nothing to put in the pot. Nothing to aspire to. Nothing consequential. We don't identify with that. So when I see someone like Diddy, I can still say, well, okay, yeah, you made some mistakes. We all did. I seen what work you put in the game. Outside of the goofy shit that you probably been doing, I can see, okay, holding the vote. You probably did it too late. It ain't gonna save you, brother. I'm sorry. But I know you put in the work. I know you put in the work. Meanwhile, you got some niggas sitting up here talking about, well, we can't do nothing, and oh, I'm terrified of Trump. Here's the boogeyman in the clouds, and the fucking minotaurs in my closet, and I don't know what to do, and I want to commit suicide watch, and you ain't got a damn thing to offer, and you sitting up here trying to tell niggas like me or you that, well, everybody else is winning and we can't do nothing about it. But you and I, we don't come from that cloth. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I've known you a long time. I ain't never in my life ever seen you in a situation where you're like, DP, I'm down bad and I don't think I'm never gonna get up, man. Woe is me. That sounds like a hoe.
I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin.
Federal prison is not a joke, DP.
I've never seen you in a situation, bro, where you just flat out just quit.
And my bail is denied. Shit, if I was gonna quit, if somebody was gonna quit, that would be the scenario with what Sean is dealing with.
Well, you up 400 million. I could, you up 400 million.
That would be the scenario right there. Where wait a minute, he had the greatest. His attorneys offered the greatest bail package ever. $50 million home, passport up. Agreed to not have any female or friend companionship visit him. Only talk to his attorney. Will not leave the state of Florida. He did. Then the judge said, nope.
Yeah. Still nigga.
No chance.
Still
the judge said, why did you contact? Now his lawyers had no answer for that. What was up with the 54?
How do you answer that? How?
That goes to tell you that the lawyers didn't approve of him doing it because they didn't have an answer for that.
Yeah, because if you call a bunch of people. But see, now let's get back to this. Those same dudes that have never seen any consequence, nobody in their family, none of their friends, none of their cousins, nobody ever called them for answers. I'm pretty sure, bro, you're a businessman. People call you for answers. People call you. You probably got lame ass niggas and you probably know, hey man, you borrow $5 or something like that.
Cash it out.
You know what I'm saying? You get questions and you have answers. Now, you might tell a nigga, no, bro. You probably tell people no all the time. You know how that goes. All the time.
Yeah. You tell people no every day.
You tell people no every day, and people don't understand there's power in no. There's power in telling someone no. Because people be like, well, damn, man, he told me no. You get to the point, there might have been a point in my life where I felt like, well, damn, I don't want to tell nobody no. There's power in no. No means more than yes. No holds more power than yes. So
a lot more.
So they don't. I get it. I understand, and I know it's hard to make 150 to 300K as a black man. It's almost impossible in this economic soundscape we're in. So I understand what he had to go through to get where he needed to be. I'm talking about as far as the business side. I know that he had to grind to get it out the mud. It wasn't given to him. Even if the white folks helped him and they said, hey, rip off a couple niggas and do some sex parties and here goes some oil. You know, I get that. But none of it was just, hey, here it is. No. I know Combs had to work. So I don't really have a lot of respect for a nigga that don't have a lot of ambition. You see what I'm saying, bro? I just don't. I don't have a lot of respect.
He does have ambition.
Huh?
He does have ambition.
Yeah, if folks don't, if I'm speaking to a dude,
that's not gonna break you. You got all this money. You didn't hurt, and you're not in jail for actually hurting anybody. And the judge says no bail, and the feds are telling you your trial might not be till 2027.
Oh, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed.
Yeah. This is an understatement. You be broken.
So now when you ask, getting back,
and you slap a drug addiction on top of it.
When you get to like the folks that was telling, you were asking, well, why is everybody telling jokes online and jokes and posting and memes? Because, bro, most of these niggas ain't never touched 100. They've never seen it. They never had no ambition where people looked at them with esteem, where they walked into a room and were able to hold, where they were able to hold a room full of people with esteem and leave with their accomplishments. That's the internet. It's fake. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. A lot of people, like, when he made that comment and I looked at the comments talking about, oh man, the sky's gonna fall. That's the folks, that's the caliber of niggas that I'm telling you about, bro. Where you're like, well, why did he get no support? Because it's not about what he did. If that nigga would have wired them $10,000, they wouldn't have gave a fuck about what he did to these women. They could have pissed on him with kerosene and lit him on fire with a fucking habanero burrito snack. They wouldn't have cared what Diddy did to these women if he would have cashed at them $5,000. Probably less than that, $500. They're coming from the perspective, bro, of weakness, no confidence. The boogeyman, G.I. Joe is hiding in my closet and he has a fucking voodoo doll. That's the perspective that a lot of them niggas was coming through. Scared plantation nigga tactics. They've never built anything. They've never led anybody. They've been inconsequential. So I'm not talking about the crime or what they saying he did. A lot of them folks is looking at it from a hater perspective. I'm never gonna touch no money like that nigga did. Never. This $1 billion nigga. He ain't even in your platform. You see what I'm saying? Those folks that are, like you said, why are they making those jokes? Because everything to them is a joke. Everything to them is sitting around and pontificating and plebiscite babbling and sitting around, not putting nothing together. Remember when I was showing you, when I wrote my books and stuff, I didn't wait for no permission or no damn college professor to tell me what I could and couldn't do. There was people, I didn't want to tell you this, bro, online, but there was niggas telling me that I ought to take a publishing deal. Man, why you put your book out by yourself, man? Why didn't you go get a deal? You might as well say, why didn't I go get a brothel? Why didn't I sign up for the red light district and hike up my damn skirt? That's really what you telling me. You telling me I don't need to get it out the mud and put my own money up. So that's why I'm saying, bro, when niggas start talking like that, there was times, bro, where when I was promoting my books, bro, where I actually had other black folks that was telling me, man, I don't believe you wrote all that. How you write all that? Nigga, I got a brain. These niggas don't even think you can read and write. Nigga, this ain't 1862. We ain't on a fucking plantation. You see what I'm saying? So
you're saying that a lot of the jokes towards Diddy are because people never seen the heights that he's seen before.
They never seen, not even that. Not even to that degree. Remember when you was telling me what you used to do when you hire people? Hey man, pull out $500.
Yeah, let me see your account statement.
I want to see a case statement. And it's not that you want their money, but you be like, okay, is this nigga for real?
Yeah, are you a lame?
Is you a lame? That's the lame judgment. You're basically going off of, okay, do I got to worry about this nigga stealing the fucking screwdrivers and tools?
Yeah, am I dealing with a loser running around here broke?
And some people feel, well, that's wrong. The thing is we're men. We're supposed to get some fucking money. That this man that could pull out $500, he ain't playing around. He ain't got no reason to be stealing no tools. He's going to get on the job.
Guy that works with me, young man. No, he's not really young, just that young. He got custody of his kids. So this motherfucker just got his taxes, $9,000. Motherfucker's broke 5 days later. He bought a truck and a couple other things, and then he bought some school clothes for his kids. But he come to me and he wanted to advance on his money.
See?
I said, you fucked up, man. So you just had $9,000. How the fuck? You had to buy my kids. And a lot of lame people that I'm around, when they go broke, they use their kids as an excuse.
Yes.
And what I told him was, I was like, look, man, your kids would rather you had a few dollars in your pocket than them have a fucking pair of Nike. And I said, you're a man. It's your responsibility to not hear that word. who were broke. Because in my world, broke doesn't work. I don't hear it. If I hear the word broke, I'm done with you. I just had a conversation with a female last weekend about it. We was riding around. She said, "Oh, I'm broke." I said, "Broke don't work for me. We ain't gonna be able to kick it, honey."
Yeah.
Broke doesn't work. That term. And I told the young man, it's your responsibility to make sure you're not walking around here with no fucking money in your pocket.
That's why I told you. Remember what I was telling you? I said, bro, and it's crazy. It's crazy you bring that up. You know, even when I was kind of, things were going left for me, I never told you, bro, I'm broke. You knew I was broke, but I never told you I was broke. I said, bro, I'm down bad. I'm going to get back up. And you said, yeah, DB, you going to get back up.
Yeah, but you're broke doesn't mean you got $0. You know what I mean? That's a whole different thing. No assets. You own a home.
But when they say they're broke, what he's really telling you is, man, let me hold some. And you looking at him like, no.
I told him this. I said, hey, man, forget your kids. I was like, all that money you spent at the liquor store, all that money you tricking off, go call the liquor store and tell them you went broke fucking with them and see if they'll let you hold a few dollars. See what they tell you. You know what I mean?
And and they're not gonna give you and that's what I was saying when you were asking, like, DP, why do they got so many jokes? Because life's a fucking joke. These niggas sit around like hoes, and what they do is, instead of figuring out how to get shit together, they want to throw life into a pity party. Oh, ha 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 ha, man, he done lost it all. But the thing is, you couldn't even sit in a room with the nigga.
Right. And he, like he said on the thing, he was a self-made millionaire.
Yeah.
Almost billionaire. This kid, his parents weren't rich or nothing.
They weren't, bro. They weren't. They probably grew up like us. They had to get it out the mud. They had to
the treatment of black women.
Yeah.
And the treatment of him thinking black people are disposable, it was his ruin.
That was the ruin. And I hope he understands that now. You know, but
you don't.
But
people, because you got to think he's in his circle. If he had people, you could already, like you were saying, you could tell by his actions that he's kind of soft by the shit he would do. You could also tell by the way he would do, like Trick Daddy was saying, he didn't have no real niggas around him, period.
Right, yeah.
He ain't got nobody to tell him, like, hey, bro, you're puffy. You're pulling J-Lo and these kind of bitches. Why the fuck is you doing all this getting girls and freak off, and you shouldn't be forcing anyone to do nothing. You know what I mean? You could handle this so much differently. He didn't have no Stevie J definitely ain't gonna tell him that.
No, he's not. I know you would tell me that.
He's slow.
Yeah,
he's slow. You know what I mean? And I know a guy just like Stevie J. I know a young man that works the same guy I was just telling you about. This kid is, let's just be real about it, he's on the short bus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But guess what? If it comes to making beats and doing shit like that, he ain't slow no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So certain people, look at R. Kelly.
Prime example.
What did Nick Cannon say? He said R. Kelly couldn't read a menu at McDonald's, but he produced my album in 15 minutes. You see, you know what I mean? Stevie the Hitmaker, just like that. I would have thought Diddy was a little bit different because to be in business and to do the things he was doing, you can't be a fool. A guy like Stevie J or R. Kelly, well, I can make beats or I can, that's where their money came from. Diddy's his money came from his mind.
Right.
Intelligence. Yeah. But in the same token, arrogance. And then what happens for black people, same thing that happened to OJ and same thing that happens to a lot of people, when you get accepted by white America, and I lived that life in high school shit, what happens is you become invincible. You start thinking you're invincible. You know what I'm talking about? White women, white people. And one thing about white people in general, when they like you and you're black, they'll make you think you're the greatest thing in the world. And it's just like, wait a minute. I'm accepted by the dominant race in this country. I'm accepted. I'm one of them. When he came out with the line, I'm not black, I'm OJ. That's a quote from Orenthal James Simpson. That's not just something Jay-Z made up. That was a known quote that OJ said.
And a lifestyle.
I'm not black. I'm OJ. OJ was accepted by white America. What happens with that is now here's the cocaine. Here's this. Here's that. Here's this. It gets different. Gene Deal said it best. He said when I first knew Diddy, he said Diddy wouldn't even smoke a blunt. Nothing. He said he wasn't that kind of guy. And he said he got with them white people. He moved to California, and that was it.
That's it.
When I heard that he got busted, and the lawyer told him, "You're gonna get busted on this day. They're coming." So Diddy came from Florida and said, "Well, I turned myself in." Fed said, "No, you're not gonna turn. We're not gonna allow you to do that." Because his lawyers called and said he'll turn himself in. We know y'all coming. So he'll turn himself in. They said, no, we're good. We're going to come get him. When they came and got him, they had cocaine in the room. That shows me you got a real problem. You got a real problem, which is at the root of all of this.
So he
I bet you, give him 6 months. Give him 3 months in there, sober. And if anybody could interview him in 3 months, you're going to see a sober-minded person that couldn't believe what the fuck he was doing.
Oh, absolutely. Because he was high all the time.
He was high all the time, man. All the time. And that's something that nobody brought up. Drugs. Drugs, man. And then pink cocaine. I've heard of cocaine. I can't think of anything that would even be stronger than pure cocaine. And he's getting pure shit.
Oh yeah, he ain't getting none of this BS. He's getting stuff fresh off the boat.
Yeah, he's paying top dollar, but he's not getting beat off or anything. You getting pink cocaine, that's just fucking with your brain, your thought process. Think about it. When's the last time Bad Boy produced a hit record?
I don't know. I can't even tell you.
Long fucking time. Who's signed to Bad Boy right now?
Nobody.
Where's Mary J. Blige? A fucking cosign for Mary J. Blige right now could go a long way.
Yeah, but she don't want to mess up her bread. She's up there working with 50 Cent. She's still doing little tours. She don't want to.
She can't say nothing.
Yeah, nobody wants to, because you know what 50 did. You got to think. You got to keep in mind, and then I'll close this out in another 5 or 10 minutes at the most. Mary J. was, you're talking about a top-notch legendary artist. Legendary platinum hits back to back, well respected, came into the game, Diddy manager, he helped her out a lot. Mary J., she had dealt with some nigga. She was married to some nigga that basically kind of fucked her over. He wasn't very bright. And I guess, she wasn't very bright as well. So you got to keep in mind, man, Mary J., she had a lot of money problems. So, she was getting to the back of the step of things within the last few years. And Diddy put her on, or not, 50 put her on. She's a good actress. There's a Netflix movie called Mudbone, and Mary J. is one of them, and she's phenomenal. And she's done the new Power. I think I can't remember what Power, but it was Power season part 2 or something like that. But she's on this Power thing, man, and she's really good. She plays a good role, and she was talking about how 50 gave her a lot of paper, because he respected her. So she's not going to go off the limb, because here's how music business works. What have you done for me lately? Right? So, yeah, you might have helped me get some platinum plaques years ago, or you might have did this. That don't mean nothing right now. Music business is relative. It's not historical. If you gave me a gold record or a platinum plaque 3-4 years ago, that don't mean anything right now. You see, so we might have a relationship, but the music business is fake. It's never been known for something for people to be solid by their word. That's what a lot of artists complain about. So the TV money and the movie money, everyone knows that's what's up. So, you got to look at it from the perspective that Mary J's like, all right, 50's giving me a chance. 50 opens up a lot of avenues for people in the music game, or not the music game, but the film game. He had to get it out the mud with the film game. He had to put his own money up. He had to get the rap money and had to get the clothing money and all this stuff and vitamin water and all that to get in the film game like how he wanted. And he was dealing with these B-listers, and he just kept grinding and grinding and grinding. Now he has one of the biggest shows on Stars, and he's a good negotiator. So he looked out for her, gave her some good paper, and she's happy about that. She's not about to go out on the limb to say anything about Diddy. She's going to say, if anything, no comment, or she's going to throw him under the bus. She may not throw him under the bus.
Diddy had a lot to do with her success.
Yeah, he did. But at the same time, bro, you got to think. The label right now is trafficking. The Me Too movement was dead years ago. They're digging up the grave. This is like witchcraft. They're digging it all up. They're conjuring up the Me Too. This is trafficking. This is RICO. He didn't kill nobody. They're acting like he did. He ain't getting no bail. You see what I'm saying? They're making him up to be the new Epstein. They've already said it in the New York Post. You sent me the article. There's nobody that wants to come to his rescue because they don't want to touch it. And if they're on that tape, they're like, yo, I don't got nothing to say. That's why a lot of them don't even want to say. They want to say something. They want to say, yeah, he should be in jail. I never liked him. They don't want to say anything. See? Yeah, you know why? Because he don't want to end up in that RICO. They not playing. They're not playing, bro. They're not playing. This is a RICO.
Warner Music Group.
Man, they're not playing, man. These folks, I'm telling you, mark my words. I might not do another podcast for another month or two after this shit. They are going to be rounding folks up like a cattle herd. Even people, cause see, some people could say, well, I don't want to be involved. That don't mean a damn, because they can subpoena you. You gonna show up.
Yeah, if you get a deposition or subpoena, yeah, you come and you don't have to. They can't force you to talk, but they can force you to come.
And I might ask you a question. And here's the thing with the RICO. Diddy might start just telling. He might as well start telling on motherfuckers because
not yet.
Because I'm telling you,
still under the assumption he can win. His lawyers, you got to think. Them lawyers, the last thing them attorneys want is for him to first of all, he hasn't, here's the thing, bro. The feds are going to do the same thing they did to 6ix9ine, the same thing they did to Gunna. Oh, we know Gunna and 6ix9ine would have both talked the first day themselves closed. But we know that, the feds know that, but we're going to let you sit for a little bit. Just sit. Just sit. We'll come talk to you in a little while. Just sit. That's how they're going to do Diddy. I would bet that no Fed will even talk to Diddy for the first 3 months.
Probably not.
They ain't going to say nothing to him.
But Diddy's not built for it. Diddy's not going to sit. Diddy's going to talk. He's going to talk. But what I'm trying to tell you, bro, Diddy.
He's meditating.
Diddy?
Yeah, he's going to talk. He would have talked right now. But is there option to talk?
There's always an option to talk. But what I'm telling you, this option to talk, it's different. It's not just like regular talk. The kind of people that he has information on, bro, mark my words what I say. They've already said that he's on suicide watch. He didn't put that out. They're getting ready to get rid of him because they know he has information that it's gonna cripple something. He might, there's what he knows. He's like I say, when you get that high up in the ladder, bro, we're not talking about 100 million, 203. We're talking about billionaire status. He's close to the billionaire status. He knows some things that they might threaten his kids. That's probably what they're going to do next. Hey, nigga, you know what you signed back in 2002, right? We know where your daughter lives. She's over there with Grandma Francesca, right? Now think about if that was you. What would you do, bro? You know you ain't gonna let them kill your daughter, man. You gonna do what they tell you to do, bro.
The lame shit that he really did was, on top of all that, is he didn't keep his kids out of it.
Man, that was sad, bro.
Because guess what? If they really want to fuck with him, I got another prediction. Within the next 3 months, the tough kid, the badass, he's gonna get it too.
Oh, one night.
This is a RICO.
Yeah, in a RICO.
I've never heard of one person getting charged with a RICO.
Never. No, you're 100% on point. I was just thinking about that earlier today. Yeah, all
and
that.
Who we talking about? And I don't think they really are stunting whoever bought the fucking lotion or whatever.
No, they don't care about that.
If I'm an assistant, all I gotta say is, hey man, I work for him. He told me to go buy some lotion. I don't know nothing about that. He told me to go get some IVs. Yeah, they was having a party, but I didn't know what the fuck they was doing. Okay, who was at these parties? That's all that is.
Yeah.
Whoever gave the lotion is, just tell us that. But we want to know, okay, and then guess what? We're going to really fuck with you, Diddy. We're going to arrest the junior.
That's really good. They I don't think they're going to mess with his daughters. What they'll do is they'll insinuate. They'll say something like this. Because he's in a vulnerable position.
And his son are about to get it.
Oh, yeah. The one that you talking about, you said he's tough? Man, please. They gonna
whoever say no Diddy getting slapped. And then put a diss track out against 50 Cent.
Yeah, look, they're already shopping for documentaries right now. They're already shopping.
What happened to 50 Cent's documentary?
I think he was just trolling, but you never know. They might come to him and say, listen, we want you to produce this, man, under G Unit Records. We'll give you $10 million. Bury this nigga. Surviving Diddy. I guarantee you. Now, if 50 was smart, he'll tell him no. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you something, and you know this as well as I know. The government they use rats. They don't respect them. They don't. The code of silence is to protect the police, but they don't want you to hold a code of silence. It's best for him to just say, man, I'm good. Even if it costs him.
He dropped the lawsuit against his baby mama, too.
Yeah, you know why? Because she's going to be part of that RICO. And he don't want to have nothing to do with it. He's like, okay, cool, I'm good. You know, whatever. I'll drop the lawsuit. I don't want nothing. That was smart. I don't want to have anything to do. And you know what? That dumbass broad, she's probably sitting up like, oh, man, if I could suck on 50 Cent's balls right now, I bet she's begging that nigga. Like, oh, man, please. Because remember, she was doing some dirty shit.
Or she's going to have to talk.
Oh, she's going to talk. She's going to talk. Because she don't want to talk, but she's going to have to, bro.
Yeah, guess what? When they facing jail time, them bitches is going to talk.
Yeah, they're going to talk.
Everybody's going to talk.
Yeah, they're going to talk. They'll be like, okay, do you want this bologna sandwich or do you want to go back in your Rolls Royce?
Now, was Diddy hanging out with Puff or 50 Cent's baby mama? That was a troll on 50 Cent, or was he just kicking it with him?
That probably was a troll on 50. That's basically like, okay, nigga, you rich, I'm rich, I'm going to fuck your baby mama. You know, and 50 probably felt like, well, damn. Yeah, you know.
He was a paid sex worker of Puff Daddy.
I guess. I mean, you know,
this
is what I think they do. I'm going to be very honest, bro, and it's probably going to come out in the RICO, so don't be surprised. This is what I think. This is what I suspect, because none of this shit makes sense if it don't go like this. The record label was having problems back in 2002. And I think the white folk basically said, hey, man, sell some pussy. Because, you know, like I say, Hollywood and record industry, sex and drugs just go hand in hand. Yeah, records get sold, but somebody's sucking some dick. Somebody is fucking on some pussy. I mean, that just happens. And drugs. Because, you know, when you're high, now you could justify your immoral behavior. Oh, I could just be a hood rat and get a fake ass, and I could just fuck on a bunch of niggas and snort some cocaine, or I could be this weird ass rap nigga living an undercover LGBT life, and you know, You could be some nigga and doing some weird shit, and when you're high, you could justify it by saying, "Well, hey, I was high." You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just the music game. I think when they sign you to a record deal, they come in with drugs. So you be disarmed and you don't know what you signing, and then they come in with some white women, some big titties, and they come in with some hood rats and some weed and all this shit, and you look up and they making 100 million and you making 100,000. So I really believe that they told that nigga, you ain't selling no records, you better sell some hoes. That's what I believe. I think that there's a ring. I believe that there's some kind of weird ass ring or some, and they mentioned something about some kids. They didn't mention the ages, because that would have been in that indictment. But I know that people have been saying that stuff. Now, if it's some kids, I'm done. Yeah. Diddy, you can sit there, bro. If it's kids,
no, there are no underage kids on the affidavit.
Oh, there's no. I didn't see it.
No, his lawyer made a point of saying that this is not an Epstein or R. Kelly situation as far as underage kids.
So there's no underage kids?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't give a fuck about the adults then.
All he's being charged with, and this is for the record, all he's being charged with is things with Cassie.
Oh, well.
He got just one victim and 49 witnesses.
Yeah,
because
they didn't say. When I was looking at the indictment, it didn't really say people. They said others and all this. It was very broad and ambiguous. Like, okay, what are you charging this nigga with? You know what I'm saying? Like,
which is why I might not totally believe the suicide thing, because his lawyers are convinced that we could get you off of this.
Yeah, this is cap, man. The suicide, I'm telling you, it's seasoning, bro. Suicide is the same thing. Think about it. If you lock me up for something, bro, in Minnesota, and I'm DP the Groundhog, and I done sold a couple 100,000 records, and you say, okay, well, yeah, this nigga been kidnapping tadpoles. Get him from Enrico. The first thing you gonna say is, oh, he's mentally unstable. So now, if somebody does something to me, you can just go back and say, well, yeah, we had him on suicide watch. Remember when Chauvin was in? They was giving this nigga cell phones, telling the black and the Hispanics, well, yeah, y'all might not be fit. You may not think you could do your job right. Well, we're giving you we're basically letting white correctional officers to make sure that they watch over you. So it's a tactic.
The black correctional officers sued, remember?
They sued. Yeah, they sued. So I'm telling the truth. They sued because they're like, wait a minute, I could watch him. I could do my job. You're telling me I'm black and I can't do my job?
Well, that's what Chauvin had said. Chauvin said he didn't want no black CO.
Oh, well then that. You know what? Really, to be honest, that should have been brought up in court to say, hey, listen, that's even more reason why that should have been brought up in federal court. Hey, you don't want black people to watch you, in your sentence, because you suspect black people will do something violent to you. That's racist. That should have been a federal hate crime bill right off the bat. They hurried up and
take them, though. Hennepin County hurried up and squared them up. Get that out of the news.
Yeah, they probably just met with them and be like, hey, man.
Whoever was cutting the check in Hennepin County looked at them motherfuckers like, y'all some dumb motherfuckers, man. Who the fuck did that? If you were smart, you just moved them niggas around like a week before.
Yeah.
Well,
just move the shift.
Yeah, whoever did it that way was real stupid, man. And that's probably what the judge and them was thinking. Like, damn, you didn't leave me no choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's clear that I did that. But they hurried up and paid them.
But that's how race soldiers operate, bro. They operate under the context that, hey, we could practice white supremacy, gets flat out in the open and be sloppy with it. And the judge was kind of letting them know, hey, look, man, don't be this damn sloppy. What the fuck?
Right. What did I tell you? Who the fuck is Chauvin?
Who the fuck is Chauvin? $2 billion.
How much has he cost them? If you look at the damage, forget Minnesota's in the billions. Or it's been in the billions, all over America.
Right.
So Chauvin cost the United States of America excess of probably $2 billion.
Probably like 10.
$10 billion. You know how many insurance companies he put in bankruptcy? How many insurance owners probably committed suicide? Think if you was a brand new guy selling insurance, and you got all the contracts on Lake Street, and then that shit happened. Where's the check coming from, DP?
You might want to see him. Did I tell you one time, and I'll leave in this last 2 minutes, did I tell you that there was something that I was supposed to get, but they only had it in Woodbury, at a Woodbury Target or something like that. And I was loading up. I think I was going to get like some food, or it was something I was going to get, because I think it was around the time, I think the insurrection had already happened, or the uprising had already happened, and I think people were waiting to hear whether he was going to be convicted or something. I think it was around that time, not sure. And I went to Woodbury because I think they closed down a lot of stuff in St. Paul or something like that. They were boarding up. They were like, okay, man, if he don't get off, man, the city gonna turn up. They knew that the city was gonna turn up if they was gonna play some funny business. So there was a white dude that I was coming out of the store, and I had like a little buggy of like some water and all kind of stuff like that. And he just randomly, I didn't even ask him nothing, but he just randomly just told me he was a worker. He told me, bro, and I believed him. It was really random. That's why I didn't really know what to say at the time. But he basically said, man, if I caught his ass, I might see him. He's an older white guy.
Right.
Because he felt like even if he was a race soldier, he felt like that ain't the way you do this. You should have caught this nigga in the alley or some shit like that. You just don't do no blatant shit like this. You don't fuck up the system of white supremacy where we gotta pay and do all this kind of stuff. He felt like, now he told me, he said, man, what that dude was horrible. But I was really, I was suspicious because I don't know you like that. You don't know what my politics is. I could have been a coon. Maybe he just looked at my energy or whatever. But he said, yeah, if I knew where he lived, he just randomly told me out of the blue, bro. It blew me. He said, man, if I knew where he lived, I might come see him. Yeah. Because you're messing stuff up for white society. I realized that when he was saying that.
You fucked up. You made us look bad. You fucked our credibility up.
He said,
now we can't sit up here and bang on niggas no more.
He said if I caught him and found out where he lived, wherever his new place, he wasn't talking about the old place, because remember his old place was being watched by race soldiers day and night, but he was talking about the new, wherever they had him new. He said, man, if I found on his new spot, I think I'd come see him. And I knew what he was talking about. Basically, I'm gonna come to put belt on you because you're messing up the flow of things.
Yeah, we can't be. Look at just the police. If you see the way the police after George Floyd here in Minneapolis, the way they interact with people, they don't want any problems, man.
I seen a video where it was a white guy. He was in the line, and I think he seen the Kia boys, or like the little young guys be stealing cars or whatever. Man, I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. So they kind of hanging out the window, and I think I sent you the video, but they hanging out the window and they kind of just driving by. I mean, you couldn't do nothing like that before. They pull you over. The kids are kind of hanging out the window and they just driving by the police. And the police just sit there like, well, they ain't killing nobody, so I don't give a fuck. And so the white dude he goes off on the police like, man, what the fuck do we pay you for? Like, you gonna sit there and watch this shit? You seen that? Like, they not, bro. If somebody don't get shot or stabbed or raped, they don't give a fuck.
Can you blame them? Can you blame them?
I get it. See, now
I was on the light rail a couple months ago, and I see this kid. He couldn't have been no more than 19 or 20. He's smoking a cigarette on the light rail, and he looks at me and he goes, "I got a gun. You want to buy it?" As he smoking a cigarette on the lighter, I said, "Nah, I don't want to buy it." He just ignored me, saying, "I don't know," and he showed it to me.
Oh,
He told me $25.
$25.
I said, "No." I said, "No, I don't want it. I'm cool." As he's saying that, here's a transit police walking by. Tells him, "Put the cigarette out." He tells him, now mind you, he has a gun on him. And he's smoking a cigarette on the train. He tells the transit, "Oh, fuck you, man. I ain't putting out shit." And the transit just kept walking.
Yeah. These folks, they and another thing they afraid it's a new generation too. They're not trying to hear what they got to say. You're not just gonna run up on niggas and rough them up or whatever. He might have pulled out on that police, bro. He might have. Because
look at what happened. Once they see Chauvin, and then after Chauvin, they see Kim Potter, and they're like, "Wait, we go to jail now?"
Yeah.
Prior to Derek Chauvin, there'd been no cop in Minnesota who had ever been convicted of anything to do with the suspect. Just think of that.
Did I play you that video? I thought I did. I can't remember if I did because I remember you had to go talk to the tenant. There was an article that Potter, was it Potter? No.
It's Potter. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, no. I know what I played for you. I was gonna play that the dude that planted the evidence in O.J. Simpson. Yeah, he can't never go back in law enforcement. But there was another incident. I don't think I mentioned that. There was another incident where Potter, they wouldn't allow her to train or do something. Let me pull this up real quick before we go.
A gun something training class.
Yeah, they shut that down.
Crazy. Yeah, once they tried to get her to do it at first, and they seen the backlash.
Yeah,
but that goes to prove that she's still locked in. Yeah,
this is on the New York Times. They said police training. Hold on, let me go. I'm going to have to break this podcast down a couple times because it's a long one. Potter. This is Washington training. Okay, Washington training canceled after Kim Potter officer that killed unarmed black man was scheduled as a guest speaker. So now they're messing with her paper. This is in Vancouver, Washington. The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board canceled a training session after the agency learned an officer involved in the controversial shooting was scheduled to be a part of it.
They knew the whole time. They just were saying, let's see if somebody gets mad about it.
Oh, yeah, somebody said something. It was enough drawback.
What did the white dude that used to own the building that I used to live at where I work? What did he tell me? He said, "You guys can have Chauvin, but you ain't getting Kim."
Yeah, I remember that. That.
He said, "You're not going to get Kim.
You ain't getting Kim.
You can't try to have that." He said, Chauvin, he said, "Fuck him." But, he was like, Kim, she didn't mean it. That's some bullshit. She was known,
Yeah.
Kim was known in that area as like in that Brooklyn Park or whatever, Brooklyn Center area is like the tough lady,
Yeah, we're not. What that white dude basically was, he was staying on the white supremacist code. He was basically saying, "Look, you got one, you ain't getting two of us."
You can take the hardest racist in the world. There's no way he could have seen what Chauvin did and then try to make any sense of it. This is why they were mad at him. He fucked their credibility up.
Yeah, they tried. Because I remember even the cops how them cops in NYPD was. Even a lot of them were like, and usually they just go with it. Like even when Eric Garner was choked out, they basically said it was okay. With the Floyd thing, it was so blatant. They were like, damn. Like, the race soldiers were like, okay, you can't do it like this. You got to catch this nigga off camera or something. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What happened in Chicago when the lady was at her kitchen and they shot her?
That too.
With the boiling hot water. Guess what Chicago did, though? They charged the motherfucker with murder the next day. They said, we're not playing. We don't want. And this is Chicago.
That's Chicago.
So if they get upset like they did in Minnesota, they'll really fuck
man, Chicago's worse because Chicago's 10 times bigger than Minneapolis. Chicago's about 10 million. Chicago's like 4 million people. You probably got. They hurried up.
They got murdered. Not only did he get murder charges, the guy that his partner got it too.
Really? Didn't know that.
We just gonna make sure. We don't want to. Chicago said we don't want any anybody to think we being lenient on anybody. Let him go to court and get off.
It's a new day, man. It's a new day.
This is Chauvin, though. So when you hear them whites that are mad with Chauvin, like that cracker that was telling you, I want to go see him, you fucked our credibility up. It's no different than the dusty Negro that fucks up like blacks' credibility. It's like at your job where you got your food stolen from you.
Yeah.
Say there's another black kid that comes in there tomorrow and he'll lie. Or guess what? Say another foundational walks in there, he starts stealing people's food. That's gonna fuck your credibility up.
Yeah, what happened with me?
Let you bring up some food again. They're gonna say, well, foundationals is the one stealing.
Yeah, what happened to me was, that site out there in Burnsville, what I was working at, and I thought it was very interesting because it was hella off code to me. The white people, I expected them to be making excuses and stuff, but like when I seen the first person that came up and he was like, "Oh man, that never happened before," it was a Somali dude. He gets up there putting the cape on, talking about what couldn't have happened and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, man, it happened. I'm diabetic. I got to eat. I can't not have my food and stuff like that. And y'all making all these excuses and everybody else's food ain't get taken. And nobody came back with my Tupperware. That's my property. It's not about how much it costs. The bottom line is that shit had never happened in the first place. And y'all are trying to make excuses. You stole the food. And not only, you can't convince me to say that they thought it was theirs because I had 2 large waters in here. I had Tupperware. Nobody eats nobody else's food. Who does that? That's why when it happened, I said, okay, where are these folks from? I asked my supervisor, I said, where are they from, man? Like, I don't get that. Don't nobody do it. That sounds like some third world shit. That's why I asked, I said, man, where the fuck are these folks from? And so he's like, well, man, I don't know or whatever. And 10 minutes later, some Somali dude walks in. Oh, that doesn't happen. I'm like, what?
He's probably the one who did it.
So I'm like, you're the lead. You're the site lead. So you protecting the person that fucking did it. You're protecting them. Cause y'all. So I said, okay, I know who did it now. And I really didn't want to put that suspicion on the brothers, but I said, okay, this off code as hell. This is some cultural shit. I said, because if I would have did this to y'all folks, they would have been raising hell. They would have raised hell. If I would have did it, they would have been raising hell. And I said, okay, this is why niggas is like, okay, we can't fuck around because this shit's off code as hell. Y'all get into these little enclaves amongst yourselves culturally, and you want to pull a little bullshit like this. And if I would have did that, they would have. I know what they would have said. Oh man, we can't fuck with these black American niggas, man. They doing shit like this. If I would have did that, I would have never seen the light of day. They would have rolled for they folks and made sure that I paid at least for the price of the food. I think I would have got fired, bro. If I would have did that at that site for those bus drivers, I would have got fired. They would have fired me. They wouldn't have let me stay. Like, damn, DP, you just started 2-3 weeks. You stealing food?
Right.
Like, nigga, yeah, are you an asylum seeker or something? You ain't used to eating or some shit? Like, why would you do that? They would have let me go. But they never found the culprit. And I looked at the cameras. I said, okay, I'm a camera installation specialist, so I kind of know how the cameras are set up. There's a camera up there. There's a camera outside. They didn't even look to see who it was because they knew who it was. Now, I don't know if they knew who. I think when they took it, I don't think they knew it was specifically me, but they knew that food and that bag wasn't something that was common because everybody might have had stuff a different way. They knew that wasn't something that was common in there because they admitted themselves. They said this has never happened. So all of a sudden I show up and it happens. So y'all knew that this was an unfamiliar bag. So you chose just to take it. So yeah, bro, I wasn't having it. And I had coworkers that was co-signing that shit. I had a coworker that says, well, yeah, maybe they thought it was theirs. And all. I'm like, bro, that's like me knocking on your door and I get into the wrong. And I said, well, man, I didn't know it was your house. And I'm sitting in your couch.
Yeah, you know what Tupperware, if you done loaded something in some Tupperware, you know that. That's some bullshit. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't put hands on somebody.
Nah, I wasn't gonna do that. You know, I just got ahead to keep it course. I wasn't gonna beat him up. You know, I just what it was is now it was a company issue, and I felt like the company itself should at least not only pay for my food, but they should have paid for my Tupperware and everything else. I think they should at least did that.
If you was working with me and something like that happened, you would be fully reimbursed.
Yeah. There was no interest in that. That the response was basically, you need to put your name on stuff. Okay, my name could have been on it. They still could have stolen it.
Gotta put your name on shit.
How about keep your hands off of stuff that ain't yours? That's a basic principle we learn as kids. This isn't a place with teenagers and people in their early 20s. You got folks that's 25 to 70 to 25 to 60 years old doing this job. So I shouldn't have to tell you that. So
no, you couldn't.
Yeah, that's another reason why I got up out of there. You know, and they were a little salty. I said, man, I'm out.
Get out of there.
I got up out of there quick. I got up out of there so quick, bro. So, but look, let's wrap this up. I'm gonna throw this online, man. This was a really, really long one. I'm gonna break it down and edit it and probably get it up online tomorrow. We'll go from there. Thanks for coming on a lot, bro.
Okay, man.
All right, brother. Take care.
Have a good one.
Peace.